Hey everybody, this is Sully with Sully Speaks. I am coming to you today with a interview with Intizar. She is a American living in Saudi Arabia. She's going to be giving us some tea about her experience. We're going to be going into a lot of things, how she's going over how you can get over there if you're trying to make hijrah, or letting you know what the details are if you're trying to go overseas, period. We're talking about Egypt. We're talking about a couple other places as well. We're also talking about money and how she is an entrepreneur and she is saving up and she's working with Bitcoin and she has like some knowledge in reference to that. So we're just basically going over a lot of stuff, a lot of topics. Stay tuned. Let's open up our minds, get ready to learn. Soli with Soli Speaks. Here we go. Alright, it's about to go live now. Let me record this.
I can't do two things at one time. so I have no idea how to share it at the same time I'm in the Zoom, but I'll share it afterwards. Or is there a way I actually do it now?
You should do it now.
Really? Just
come on.
What's the link? Girl, I'm not tech savvy. That's my shirt. I'm not tech savvy. So what do? You have to hold my hand.
Okay, hold on. Just go to my page. You should see a live. All right, let me just.
Oh, and share your page.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get out of here. Okay.
Let me see if I can copy this link. Copy link. Let me text it to you right now. Yes, sweetie. All right, hold on. Oh, mama. All right, I just text you the link. So you can just copy and paste that link. Come here, mama. Please don't come. She can even see you. Where you go?
This content's not available right now. So I'll just go to your page then and share from your page.
I just texted it. I texted you the link already.
Yeah, I clicked on it and it says content not available right now. So I'll just let me go to your page and see if I see anything. No, it's not on there.
Okay.
Page yet. Let me refresh, see what happens. No, this content isn't available right now.
Okay, it's probably going to do the playback then. Mamas, don't be upset. All right, go ahead, go sit down. You're okay. Because you stole some fruit snacks already. All right. So, I have Intizar, the social media business extraordinaire expertise.
Oh, really? I wish. I wish.
We're on here, and she's allowing me to ask her questions about.
1 second. The Kadama needs me. 1 second. I'm so sorry. That's the maid.
No, it's good.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I just woke up, so I had like bags under my eye. Either way, I'm so cute. Don't worry about it. I need like some coffee or something right here, like the rub under this joint. Let me see if I can do it on Facebook. I think you're gonna do it.
So sorry, that's embarrassing.
Don't be embarrassed. Shoot, I wish I had a maid. I only got kids. And they don't clean the way I want them to.
Oh, okay.
Is it like standard in Saudi Arabia that everybody have meat?
Yep, even the poor people.
Really?
Even they have maids.
So like, you know how there's a lot of people saying, like a lot of the kuffar talk about how maids are mistreated. You know, you see all these documentaries about abused maids and stuff like that. Is that true?
I just had this discussion with someone the other day who asked me the exact same question. It's not completely true. It's not completely false. It happens. It depends on the home that she's in. How it's typically done here is you have to order. I hate to say that, but basically everyone in the country has a sponsor. If you have a sponsor. If you have a horrible sponsor, horrible things can happen. If you have a good sponsor, good things can happen. If you are a domestic servant and you live in a house with a horrible sponsor, really bad things can happen. So not everyone is bad. Not all sponsors are bad. Not all homes are bad. But it does open the door for mistreatment.
Yeah, and that's what homes in the United States, if they have a maid and the maid is like, I think people just want to villainize Muslims.
Yeah.
Whatever. You just gotta be like, whatever, yo. They just want to
Right.
have anything bad to say about a Muslim.
Right. The
There's
same
nothing
people.
you can do.
Anyway, we're not going.
We got haters.
About the same people who made us slaves now have a problem with maids in Saudi Arabia. But yeah.
Exactly. So how if I wanted to go to Saudi Arabia like right now or after they open the borders back up, how do you think that can happen? Are they accepting people that are in school, they have gone to school, and your mama, open the door for your brothers? And are they like, because I remember talking to you and they said they're trying to get rid of foreign workers and trying to get more investors. So how does that work? Could you explain more?
Yeah, previously the most common ways that you would come to Saudi Arabia were on a work visa, a student visa, or a business visa. The business visa doesn't give you.
1 second. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Y'all gotta be quiet. Shut up. All right. Sorry, I have teenagers. They suck. But go on. Yes, I have an 18-year-old.
Okay, can you still see me? Because I'm out the screen now. I'm trying to share this. Can you still see me?
Yes, I can see you. You can see both at the same time.
I don't know how it works. It says content still not available, but because I was trying to go to your page and share this link.
I don't know why it's not working. But so what were you saying about the business? Go on. Continue, please.
Yeah, in the past, the business visa, you're only here as a guest. That's a visitor's visa. So they have tourist visas now, Umrah visas, business visas, but you're on guest status. You're not a resident. You're supposed to just come for the duration of the visa and leave. But the way that you can get the Iqama, which is a residence permit, is on a work visa that turns into an Iqama, or a student visa, which turns into an Iqama. And now they are trying to do the investor's visa, which would give you like a permanent residency or annual renewal one. That hasn't taken off too well yet because the pandemic happened right after they announced it. Right after they announced it. And a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, they did have this 5-year investor's visa. Most of the people, their 5 years up, the businesses didn't do well. They just went back to their countries. There may be some exceptions, but the majority of them are no longer here on those type of business. It's very hard if you don't have a network here for your business to thrive. And as Americans, we don't network. We don't network in the same manner that Africans may come over here and network, or Indo-Pacs, and other.
What do they do different? What do they do different?
They have strong networks. We don't have. We're individual. We're Americans. That's our identity, is being individual. So that's we just do us. We're not a community-based people. So they do everything together. Let's say they have a construction business. Their workers are going to be they're going to have the connections with the workers, with the materials, with everything. If we come over here and try to do a business, we're on our own and we struggle and eventually fail. And that's what's happened so far. Currently, there are no visas.
Yeah.
Country, no new visas have been issued since the pandemic. The Umrah visas are opening up now, but that's phased in. I don't know which countries are at the moment allowed to come in on Umrah. The tourist visa is not allowed right now. I think they have opened up the tourist visa for a minute, then closed it again. I don't know. So my daughter has been stuck out the country for a year now. My daughters. One of them
resident or something. She grew up here. She was born there. No, probably they were.
She was born here. Well, she was born in Bahrain, but they were stuck out because one of them went to America to have a baby, and during that time, the pandemic happened and the whole country closed. They couldn't get in. In September, the girls could have come back because they have Iqamas, but the baby didn't have.
Really?
So the baby didn't have paperwork and still doesn't have paperwork. So,
They can just leave the baby, don't worry.
so my youngest daughter, she's gonna come back. We booked her flight yesterday, so she's gonna come back soon. And my daughter, who had the baby, she's parked over in Egypt with her husband and the baby. She's just gonna stay over there. But they all want to get back over here because he was born and raised here as well, and his entire family's here. And
yeah,
they're actually. I'm excited to see my grandchild, of course, but they like are really that's he's the favorite son. And then, yeah, he's the favorite son. Now the favorite son has a son, so they're just like, get back. They're in Riyadh. I'm in Mecca, so I'm already in my mind saying, who is she gonna go to first? I'm the mother.
I know, right?
I'm being real petty, but I haven't voiced it to her. But I'm thinking to myself,
yeah, you did.
Because they're getting her tickets. They're like, they're the ones buying the tickets, but I'm still telling her.
Yeah, but out of respect, it's just like, you the mama.
I think they will understand. They will let her come with me because I know they're gonna want to hog her and keep her longer. So let her come see me, then go on over there.
I'm gonna let you have that relationship with the mother-in-laws because sometimes it's like fitna.
I don't have any relationship with them actually.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
It's just that they're in Riyadh. I'm here. Her father's in Riyadh, so her father has a relationship with them.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Yeah. Well, so it's basically no way to get over. How do you feel like we as African Americans can ever come together and try to do something, or we just, we don't have it? We're too arrogant. It's too much.
We're too arrogant. That's not what I would say. I think that we just it's the American way, and that's what's been instilled in us. The Americans are, this is I don't know. A lot of different cultures are different. Their cultures are strong, but I don't think we really have a strong culture. And our culture isn't really in helping each other out. If anything, we pull each other down sometimes, and we get envious if we see somebody, instead of looking at that person and trying to follow their lead and wishing well for them, so they can bring you along, then we. I don't want to say too much about that because it's generalizing, but
it's not.
Yeah.
I've experienced. You don't get help. Like, you don't get help from people that are your family or your friends. You
not the same way we do, but not the same way you see when you come here and you see how the other cultures do it.
But even the cultures in America, like, you have to understand, like, my husband's white. I think your ex-husband was white, and I know how close you were with his family, but you see the difference in their family structure. And I know that my husband's family, before he became Muslim, like, they truly helped each other, and they were like, they were, grandsons of immigrants and everything.
Not my children's father's family. No, everybody for themselves. They don't really aid and assist or anything like that.
Oh, really?
This is why I didn't make the difference between black and white. I was like, it's an American way,
It's an American way, okay. So there's probably some black families that like truly really help their family members, but I know mine doesn't. I know that it's very individualized.
Our family, my mother has been the one who has been the most supportive, not his family. So I can never say that it's blacks and not whites or anything. I just think that that's just the American way,
Yeah.
House and all that's not how it works in the rest of the world. And in the rest of the world, 18, if you're not married, you still home. And we're going to help you and support you, and maybe even add an extra room so that when you do get married, you can bring your bride here, save some money, or whatever. So it's just a lot of cultural differences.
There is, but do you feel like is it possible for any kind of, like, what can we do to change ourselves? Like, because you seem to you're over there with independently. How are you over there with your successful businesses? Like, you of course you got over there with, I think you got over there because of your husband originally, and then your ex-husband.
A traveling spouse. I just tagged along. I tagged along, and then after our divorce, Allah made a way for me to stay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that I was, I mean, well, he wasn't gonna get rid of me like that, you know what I'm saying? So I was still under his sponsorship um, until I got a sponsor of my own. I could have stayed under his sponsorship. I should have actually. I don't have any regrets, but it was easier under his sponsorship for certain things.
How can you get a sponsorship?
How can I what?
How can a regular person get a sponsorship?
Oh, I was hired by a government university, so they sponsored me. Yeah, that's what I've been doing, working for different universities and colleges here. But I would never be under their sponsorship. I will always stay under my husband's sponsorship and work as a local hire. But I got a really, really, really good job offer that I couldn't turn down. That's what I've been doing, working for different universities.
Okay.
Transferred my sponsorship to the university.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Is there a way that so because a lot of people want to go to Saudi? Like I just had the last interview I had, the brother was like, Saudi is like the way he described it was Saudi is like the Disney World, Salafi Disney World. Do you agree with that?
Disney World. Did you say Salafi Disney World?
Salafi Disney World.
Okay, can you explain that term?
I guess all the attractions that the Salafis want, and they feel like they need, and then it's just that's it. I don't know. I can't really. This is how he expressed it. I don't know. He had a high view of overseas. He didn't really. I don't know if he really enjoyed himself overseas.
That's an interesting term, and interesting. He has a high view, and that's good. But
I don't think he does. Like
the terminology just threw me off. I wasn't expecting to hear that. That just threw me off. Salafi Disney World.
Okay. So, how would you describe living overseas and doing business overseas?
Oh my God, it's difficult if you're. It's easy and difficult because there's different ways to do it. Like me, everything I've done, I've had many businesses here, but they have only been considered side hustles and probably illegal because I had because
you want to redo that? You want to
not illegal because they're not registered, they're not licensed. I don't have a Saudi card, that type of thing.
Okay.
Now, yeah. So there are services that I'm doing, home-based businesses that I'll do, and I've been able to get away with it, like that. But they would do a lot better if they were, of course, registered and official businesses, because then you could, all my promotion for it has been through the internet. So people find me no problem because I have a very defined. They actually there's a name. They call me an expert here in whatever I do, and this is the Saudis. I never called myself this. I don't care what it is I'm doing. They consider me the expert in it. So my name has gone around. Plus I used to do TV shows and stuff here. So, and I was almost like a little celebrity. I would go in the mall and they would hear me and they'd say, oh, Adam, is that you? We used to do my family used to, do the summertime in Saudi shows where they would take me and my kids around to different attractions in the country and just follow us around the camera. So we got in a lot of places free and stuff. So I became very well known with the Saudis just from my TV appearances and things like that. And the Saudis are very supportive of my businesses. Like I have, or had, because right now nothing is operable. I had a head lice treatment and removal service. So they call me the Lice Lady of Arabia. That's my name, the Lice Lady of Arabia. So everyone would, lice is a big deal here. So this was a really good that I had. I also had a personalized bra fitting service, which was needed. And the Zahra Breast Cancer Association found out about me, and they started referring all of their breast cancer patients to me so I could fit them properly for after post-mastectomy patients. So I could fit them properly so their prosthesis was fitting correctly. So after that, the surgeons would start, a group of surgeons that would do the mastectomies found out about me from Zahra Breast Cancer Association and would refer me to their patients. So I don't have to actually do my businesses here in Saudi Arabia. I don't have to do a lot of promoting for it because the Saudis are very supportive.
So it's not a color thing. They don't care that you're black or you're African.
They don't like me to call myself black. That's the funny thing. Because the Saudis are brown. They're not like Jordanians or Palestinians and Syrians who are, lighter. So most of them are my color. So if I call myself black, they say, no, same honor, so, they don't really want me to say I'm black.
Why? Because is it looked at something?
Black.
Would I be considered black?
They don't. It's
not a color thing.
They don't call you by your color. They call you by your nationality. So African Americans are a little ambiguous. If you're a darker skinned African American, then they may try to ask you if you're Nigerian or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Then once they realize that, oh, you American, then you cool.
American, they don't know what you are. They don't think you're American for sure because, and it depends on who they are, and if they're, it depends on who they are. Like other Africans, if you're other Africans, depending on your features and everything, may try to claim you or be like, where the heck are you from? You know what I'm saying?
Like, whoa.
Person, yeah, because they know, they can look at you just like we know each other. We can look at each other and know she's American. I can spot an American a mile away here. Yeah. I know. But those and the people here are very savvy when it comes to nationalities because you get paid based on your nationality, you get treated based on your nationality and all that. So with the African American, they sometimes can't tell. With me, they really honestly can't. They will make up all types of stuff about what I am before they even try to guess that.
For their ex.
Yeah, I mean, they're giving me a tribe here, Al-Dosari. You're from Al-Dosari. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, all right.
Oh gosh, alhamdulillah. I'm glad that you have a good experience. Do you know a lot of people who don't have the best experience?
I know a lot of people have put self-imposed limitations on themselves and come over here already with the mindset. So what happens is you hear these rumors, you hear these things, you hear that someone gets mistreated, you already have that mentality from America about racism. You already feel bad about yourself, and you come over here, you bring all that baggage with you. And that's how you view everything. You view everything from that same lens and you don't even give them a chance. I've seen it over and over and over again that they're on guard. A lot of Americans will come over here just guarded and ready, and then they will not enjoy the experience because everything they see is from already that perspective of I'm being wronged, they're racist, they're,
sometimes we get that perspective from the foreigners that come to America, like, and kind of like are mean because we're African American. So the foreigners that come here, and like not a lot of them, from what I experienced, like I went to like a Palestinian masjid and they were the worst. So it's like, yes.
I'm asking you, where do you live?
North Carolina.
Okay, well maybe it's because it's North Carolina. I don't know.
The Palestinians that I've experienced, they were really, really bad off, and it was like
maybe Allah just protected me because even in America, I have never personally experienced racism from anybody, whites, Arabs, nobody. I haven't had a personal experience. Of course, I'm aware of it,
Yeah.
But I haven't actually had a personal experience where I can say somebody did me wrong or something. Like, even one time I was wrong. We had I expose myself now. One time my mother and stepfather went out and my brother and it was my senior year in high school, we were a year apart. So I had already turned 18 and he was still 17. He hadn't turned because he hadn't turned 17 yet. And we had a wild party while they were gone. Mm-hmm. So the police came to break up the party, and when like about 5 of them were abusing my brother, they were banging his head into the wall and something like that. Mess with my brother. So I ran and I jumped on all of them. You know, I was like, get off of my brother. And I jumped on 5 police officers and I'm clawing at them and pulling them off of my brother and all of that stuff. So then they let the lady cop at me. They back and they let the lady cop at me. So, you know, eventually they got me in the paddy wagon. I don't know if you all have paddy wagons where you're from, but they put me and my brother in the back of the paddy wagon, and they just wanted to scare us. They knew that we were good kids from a good family, so they were just driving us around in circles. Then when they came to the back to ask us, did we learn our lesson, my brother cursed them out, and so they were like, okay, fine, you didn't learn your lesson there, we're going to take you to the, you know, police station. Yeah. So when we got to the police station, since I was 18 and my brother was 16, they called my stepfather, who was a lawyer, and said, you know, we're going to get him for curfew and just hand him over to your father. It was like, well, we're going to let you go because we can't put you back there. They said, they were like, we are not, they knew it. They knew I was a good girl. You know what I'm saying? They was like, we're not they wouldn't do that to me. And these were people that would normally be considered evil cops or whatever.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I don't believe that.
They were like, we are not booking you. You're 18. If we put you back there, no. They refused to do it, even though they had the right to do it. I was fighting a police officer, several.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, cool. That's crazy. No, I didn't typically have bad experience with white people.
You're married one, right? So it's gonna be
so like, and then like in Philadelphia, we are literally taught not to like cops, and I thought it was something that was supposed to be natural. I thought they were, you know, this, that, and the other. But then I came down to Nashville, North Carolina. So then I came back from Nashville, North Carolina, and then the cops were nice. They were, you know, involved in the community. And my perspective, like they were my kids' soccer coach, they were my kids' baseball coach, and my perspective changed because I'm like, I thought you guys all were supposed to be bad. I thought you guys were supposed to be horrible people, and they were.
I never made it a big race issue with the police officers because when I was growing up, our neighborhood was policed by Black officers, and they were horrible. Everyone knew you don't do anything in my neighborhood. They would the stuff that they're doing. They weren't shooting and killing people now, but they were beating the crap out of you, you know. So you know they were setting you up. They were doing stuff, so they were dirty, you know. So now you know it's a big race issue. To me, growing up, it wasn't a race issue because my neighborhood was all.
I feel like it's more of a race issue now because of the media trying to separate us than what it was back in the day. Like it's more prevalent in America that I'm a Black woman or that I'm Muslim. Like it's talked about so much more than it should be because I'm still American overall. Like I feel like you're not going to take my Americanism away. I'm American. You're not going to take that. I was born here, and I don't want anyone to make me feel bad about being American.
So someone has done this. Someone has said something about your appearance.
No, I mean, from me being niqabi, you're not. Of course, if you're in America, you're niqabi. They're assuming that you're from somewhere else. But I'm saying like, you have to be on one side or the other. Like because my views on my views on police brutality and all this other stuff, it's basically it's because I don't believe that it's that, you know, I think that we cause ourselves more trouble than anything.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You have to choose a side, and that's not right.
You shouldn't have to choose a side. There is racism in the world. There's racism everywhere. Everybody got a little racism in them, but you shouldn't.
I realize that now. I'm married to a white husband. I'm sure you've heard African Americans make horrible. I've had them say the worst things to me. I'm like, oh God, the white person said what you all just said.
Yes.
What gives you the right to say what you just said?
Yes, and I'm like, yo, you can't come at my husband race. Like, it's not okay for you to talk to them like that because my daughter's white. Like, my daughter does not look like she's Black. My daughter looks like she's Arab or something.
Yeah, I had a tell me that my children smell like dogs, and they don't. So I was like, what?
They are bold.
They did smell like dogs. Why would you say that? You know?
They try to convince you, yes, they do. Like your kids smell just like my dog.
So this is your friend telling you your kids smell like dogs. And not in a way like, you know what, I got this little shampoo for them, yeah, just give me a gift bag with the shampoo. Don't tell me here's the shampoo because they smell like dogs, But
I get more people are.
yeah, it's a mindset thing. That's something we were told before. We were told that these people smell like dogs, and now all of a sudden you think my kids smell like a dog.
Yeah. Or you get the my daughter has a, a looser curl texture. So you
Mm-hmm.
get the people who are really sensitive about her hair. Oh, because I have two so I have African American set of kids and I have my babies.
Mm-hmm.
So, they would make sure that they well, these two are beautiful and then separate the other two.
Are those a particular race that says that? Because I know that would for sure happen over here.
It happens. A lot of African Americans do it.
Okay,
Um, they
but
have. I noticed that a lot of African American women have um, insecurities about them, and it's not everybody. But then they try to place it on me on how they would feel with their kids. So like they would make it seem like, oh, she got to be jealous of her daughter. What you mean? Like I got good. My hair is good. I don't have to describe myself to make myself.
You're jealous of your own daughter.
They try to make it seem like that, and I'm like, did I say I was?
Oh,
Like,
wow.
listen, I'm bubbly. I'm happy. My daughter's bubbly, and we're happy. And she's a princess. I'm a queen, and I make her feel good because it's been a lot of situations that she had to stand up for herself because she had to deal with some stuff. And I'm like, why can't the kids just play? Why do y'all put insecurities on y'all kids? So what, my daughter is lighter than everybody else or whatever her situation is should not be an issue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, since they grew up in Saudi, like how was it a difference?
With race?
Yeah, like did they just blended in? They seem because I seen a couple of your pictures. They were cool, right?
One of my daughters blends in. She blends in fine. The other one, the people think she's white, and they say stupid stuff. Like they know that they're sisters. They go to the same exact school.
Oh,
Everyone
your
knows.
kids look alike.
Everyone knows that they're sisters. I will have some people ask me if they're twins, and then I have some people ask me if they have the same father. And then at school, my younger daughter would be, told all the time that she's not American, that she's Saudi. Her sister's American. I'm like, okay, y'all make no sense. How is she Saudi and her sister's American? I'm like, think. Okay, so the one who blends in actually got treated worse than the one who doesn't because she didn't get treated bad. She never got treated bad. It's just that they didn't make a big deal out of her. They didn't make a fuss out of her because they were like, girl, please, you Saudi,
Like you ain't special.
Right. But the other one, um, was treated a little different. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. It's strange here. It's strange here. You'll get teased if you're different, and then when you get older, you become popular because you're different. So it's really strange here.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting. I know we were in the Palestinian masjid, and it's so an older woman came up to me, and I had my two boys, and we were waiting for my husband to come up the masjid, and one of them, babe, you are literally in my. So you get on my nerves. So we were waiting for him to get out of the masjid. So the older woman and her daughter walked up to me and was like, why these kids white and these kids black?
Yeah, yeah, they'll say
I was like,
they don't care about asking your business. Stuff that we may think it. I'm not saying everyone's gonna look and
yeah.
think different. We know not to say certain things. Some coaches will ask you the most embarrassing question. Not embarrassing to you, but embarrassing that I can't believe you would even ask me something like that.
Yeah,
So
obvious.
it doesn't surprise me at all that they come right out and yeah.
I was like, well, I mean, I don't know how to answer that. And she was like, and then she asked me again, why are these kids white and these kids white? I'm like, they're all mine. So then her daughter had to get her because I didn't understand. Like she was like not understanding it was a wrong question. But that was the situation. It was funny after a while. I laughed at it after a while, but I don't know. Would you ever come back to America?
Not voluntarily.
I'm sorry, it shouldn't be that funny because once I'm out, I'm out. So
I'm not on my own, kicking and screaming, you know. But
I
I
can't wait
I
to
see refugee law from that. I don't even think. I don't even talk about that.
you don't even Allah forbid. Yeah, Allah. Like, let me just make dua right now.
Girl, no, I have no desire whatsoever. Not even to visit. We're getting free tickets every year. Every summer you get free tickets to go back home.
Really?
We wouldn't go.
I want to leave. I want to leave.
My children's first time going just because of that baby. That's the only reason. I mean, and then I'm glad the pandemic happened while they were there, so they didn't enjoy it. Because a lot of times the children will go to America and not want to come back here. You know.
I know.
It actually worked in my favor that the one time they went was during a pandemic and they didn't get to experience, you know, all the stuff that they dreamed about over here. So I'm glad
my kids experienced what it is like because we're from Philly and they seen what their cousins, what their uncles was doing, all this other stuff. And I tell my kids, I'm like, y'all want to be like them, or y'all want to have a, you know, a different experience. And I don't have to.
I was actually referring to fun. I'm glad they didn't have any fun. That's what I'm talking about. I was afraid they would get over there and just have a good time, you know, just fun because it's not a lot of activities here. You know?
Yeah, well, in the Muslim communities here, we tend to do a lot. So like the dorm Muslim community, like during the Eids, we party. We have a sisters party. It is like we all get dressed up, you know, take our niqabs off, get our makeup done. We do it all.
We do that here too, and this is when we come together. Usually my family only sees the other Westerners on Eids and things like that. Because we will get together and have Eid gatherings with the other expats.
Yeah.
It's a family-oriented society, so they do things, and the families are huge, so they do things together as a family. Alhamdulillah, we've been embraced and welcomed to private events and family events and everything here, but it's still, you know, it can be lonely, you know, because you wish your people were with you, not, you know.
Yeah. You be all right.
Yeah.
That is a sad point, but I'm willing to remedy it. Like, you know, when
you get over it. At least I do. I mean, I know some people they can't survive here. I mean, they'll be back before their 3-month probation is up. They'll be back in America.
No.
These would be the people that were screaming the loudest how they wanted to come over here. They tried their best, go back to school, get a degree, they do everything in their power under the sun to get here and cannot hang.
Because it's like they probably came over with this mindset that you were talking about earlier.
Mindset.
Hero mindset.
I think because it's trendy. I don't really think it's in everyone's heart to be here. I think it's something, oh, this is what the hype is. This is what everyone's talking about. I want to go to Saudi Arabia. Where really they really don't want this. They really not about that life. You know, they really
what mindset should you have? Say for someone who wants to change their mindset, change their intentions before going over there. What mindset do you think? Because my mindset is if I want to go so bad and I want to go over there because I want to be around people that's dressed like me. I want to be around.
That wasn't even my reason. Mine was really simply just for the sake of life. It didn't have anything to do with anybody else. And that's one thing I think we have to get rid of. We can't put that on our environment. And I didn't want to come because I didn't like America. I loved you know what I'm saying? I at one point I never thought I'd leave America. I didn't want to come because I was mistreated. I'm treated well wherever I am, you know? Yeah. So I didn't want to come because it's easier for me to cover over here. So you have to be able to stand alone. You have to be strong and independent and, you know, and come for the sake of Allah. But when you come because you think it's easier, and then you get here and you realize maybe that aspect is easier, but then there's this other aspect that you didn't think about that may be more difficult for you. Do you fold then? You know? Do you crumble? Because that's what happens. You know, people are like, oh, I can go over there and just wear niqab. And okay, now you're over here, you wear niqab, but what? Now you got this issue with this other thing. So, you know, again, that's what the intention should be, you know, for the sake of life. It can't even be, I want to come over here and seek knowledge. Don't even make that the intention. Because most of us who get over here are not seeking knowledge. We get over here and we're told don't speak a lick of Arabic. You know, we're teaching English all day long. You know, you have family responsibilities. You're tired as I don't know what. Picking up a book is the last thing most of us are over here doing. I'm not saying it's not done. There's many people who have done it. You know what I'm saying? But the women were having babies and then or working, and it's not like after a while. In the beginning, most people come over here the first year, 2 years, you're going strong. I don't care. You're going strong seeking knowledge, but after a while, you get really laxed in your being here. And that's probably, you know, the worst thing that happens is if you just, you know, you when you were in America, you had a black marker and you were marking off images and you were doing this and you were doing that. And before you know it, you get over here and you're just like, whatever, you know, you get comfortable, you relax, whatever.
Wow. That's a different perspective because you have to understand that people literally, they're so focused on working just to try to get over here. Like, let me save up this amount of money so I can get over to other country.
You're coming over as a worker, or you're coming over as a student. Now, if you come over as a student, that's different. But a lot of the students drop out to do what? To work and make money. Or drop out, period, and just go back home. You know, that's what the American students, the other students, they between the American students, they get over here and they can't hang either. One semester to my high and they're out of here.
Lemon, wow. That's a reality. Wow. So wow.
So they'll come here, either married and they left their wife behind and they get frustrated with trying to, you know, deal with that.
Are you not allowed to bring your wife with you when you go?
Not the students. The students on a scholarship. Some of them do it somehow. I don't know. Maybe it's not that first year. The first year they don't. I think later they figure out how to do it. You know, I don't know. Some have wives, you know, but I don't know how exactly they do it. I think they have to come first and then apply for her or something. It's not easy. I put it that way. It's not easy. It can be done, but it's not easy. A lot of things can be done here, but they're not necessarily easy.
So how does your daughter feel about Egypt since she's in there now?
My younger daughter, my kids are okay. They wherever they, you know what I'm saying? They're like me. They're adaptable, so they don't make a big stink about anything. So they don't have any, you know. One daughter just became Egyptian. My youngest daughter says, "So does Egyptian now, Mom." And Ramla refuses to speak the dialect. She refuses to. But my other daughter's like a parrot. Now she's Egyptian.
So is it a difference in between Saudi and like Egypt?
In the area? Huh?
Like, is it like a difference in between, like, is it better there or better in Saudi?
It's hard to say because Saudi is different wherever you go. We've lived all over the country. It's different in almost every city that we've lived in, and I haven't been in Egypt, so I don't know to say better, but different. You know, it depends on what you're trying to do. I do believe for most older Americans, it's easier for them to learn Arabic in Egypt. This is what I've been told. In Saudi Arabia, it's not that easy. They don't have a lot of programs. I've been in quite a few programs, but now things have changed so much. Now there's nothing. There's just no programs, right? Currently, there's nothing. But even the past few years before COVID, the opportunities to seek knowledge here started lessening, and
really,
before everything was free, then you had to start paying for stuff. And like when I first got here, I used to go to Madrasa Umiyya. That's night school. That's night school basically. And the government schools are open at night for women to come in, and because you know in the past a lot of the older women didn't have education. The education system was pretty new, you know, so you'll have a whole generation that never got an education. So they go and Madrasa Umiyya, it means the illiterate women. It's for the illiterate women. So I used to go because you do the same curriculum that the kids are doing, but only you finish 2 grades in one school year instead of 1 grade. You know, so you do 1st and 2nd grade 1 school year, 3rd and 4th grade 1 school year, 5th and 6th grade 1 school year. So there's 3 years you finish with 50 days. Then you go on and finish the rest. But I went and my husband made me drop out. after I completed second grade because they treated me differently, but in a good way. Like during the lunch break, the mudira would make me come and sit with her and the teachers and tell me I couldn't sit with the illiterate women. And these were Saudi women. These were all Saudi women. They were like, no, 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 you're educated. You don't sit with them. You sit with us. They would not. And then my students, my classmates, would be upset because I'm in the office with the mudira and the teachers during the breaks and not sitting with them. So they classify everybody here based on your nationality, your color, your education, your everything. It's almost like, oh my God, they put me in this awkward situation where now every day I have to sit in there with the mudira and them, and not with the illiterate ladies. But so on the final exam, I taking the final exam like everyone else, and here they have all the exams are invigilated. Someone has to walk past. It's a serious thing. I don't remember this in America. In America, we call it proctoring. Here they say invigilation because they like to use the British terms for everything. But basically, you're just making sure no one's cheating, right? And it's so serious here. But like at the universities that I worked at, they don't allow you to invigilate your own class. And I know why, because of the experience I had that day when I was a student. Mm-hmm. My teacher was giving me the answers. And it made me so upset. I went home and told, my husband, I said, I'm trying to take the exam and she's walking past, supposed to be making sure no one's cheating, and she's whispering the answers to me. And I was too embarrassed. I didn't take the exam because I didn't know, do I write the answer down? What if they mark it right and she thinks I only got it right because she gave me the answer, but I was going to put it there anyway, So I was so upset. I went home and told him, and he let me go back the next year. He was like, no, that's horrible. I can't believe they just cheated. I'll teach you. Of course, he never taught me, but
Okay.
So I finished second grade. I have a second grade education. I actually was a student at Princess Noor University in the Arabic, in the Mahad there. They have the Mahad, the brothers go to Medina. I was a student at the Mahad at Princess Noor University in Riyadh. But all that stuff is difficult when you have a family and when you're working and trying to do it all. So it does get difficult,
Yeah, it can. As far as your husband, because my husband, he told himself, alhamdulillah, Fusa and Amia, but it's difficult for him to teach us because he works 14-hour shifts or 12-hour shifts sometimes, and it's like he does classes with us, but it's so difficult to sit down and teach Arabic because you have to make sure it's a schedule. And, that's what we're trying to change, is we're trying to give him opportunity so he can just, work from home or do something that can, accommodate that. But I understand how it is to have a husband that speaks, and then everybody's looking at, well, if your husband speaks so well, then why don't you speak? I'm like, because.
He's an Arabic linguist, a certified Arabic linguist. He will test out of any Arabic exam there is, but on the streets here in Saudi, nobody knows what he's talking about. Nobody want to hear that. My children wind up having to clarify things when they're out because he's only speaking Fusha. He refuses, and he's doing that being stubborn because I know.
I get it, because it's like they have such respect for the language. When my husband was learning Amia, he was so disgusted. He was like, how dare they destroy the Fusha like that? Like, he was so pissed.
He gets mad because he's like, we pay, because our children have always been in private schools. Every now and then they were in government school, but most of the private schools, he's like, we get all this money for them and they don't even know Arabic. I was like, they know Arabic better than you. And he's like, that's not Arabic that they're speaking. I'm like, well, that's what they speak here. But he would get really upset. He would get so upset about that because they sound exactly like Saudis, and Saudis don't speak Fusha. You can say Fusha to them and they won't know what you're talking about. Like, huh?
Really? Mm-hmm. I don't know, because he just wants, like, I know he gets very upset when it comes to that kind of stuff, like, especially when he goes into, like, he's looking over, like, the Syrian dialect. So he gets very upset when it comes to it. He's very sensitive about the language. So how did your husband certify to become to get in that position that he wasn't? Your ex-husband, I'm sorry,
what's the question?
How did he get, like, if you have a husband who speaks it and who knows Fusha extremely well, how does he get the position? How did he get the position that he got?
What position is that?
You said that he is a linguist or something. What did you say?
But he's never worked in that field before. He's a
Oh.
certified. He's never worked in it. He's been teaching. That's what I'm saying. You don't use your Arabic. They don't want you to speak Arabic here. They're not bringing you over here, paying you these good salaries, you know, giving you a housing allowance, a transportation allowance. They're not doing all that so you can get on over here and speak Arabic. That's not what they want you here for. You're here to teach English. And that's been done now. Now their English is well, and they don't need our services anymore. We're disposable.
Do you feel that you have a secure place where you are? Do you feel that you know, that at any given time you can be asked to leave because of whatever?
Any given time, but I always put my trust and my reliance in Allah. I don't, you know, when Allah, if Allah wants me here and keeps me here, then He will keep making a way for me to stay. So I don't really sweat it that much. I don't really I know people that were preemptive and they left before being told to leave. They would leave before contracts were up, had good jobs, good homes, good life. But they were like, no, they're doing this Saudization, you know, and they was like, we're gonna get out of here now. I'm not gonna renew my contract because they, you know, they're trying to get rid of everybody. Yeah, but they can't, and then now they're back in America moaning and groaning and, you know, wishing they were still here. And I'm just like, jump the gun. You know, Allah will make a way for you. You know, I mean, it will be, now that's not the same as the person who lost their job and left. I'm not even talking about those. If you actually lost your contract, there was nothing you could do about it, and you had to go back, I get it. But there are a lot of people who, on their own, they're going back. And at least that's the story that they're giving, that, you know, they're going back because of Saudization and they don't want to get caught up and everything. That's the story they're giving. And maybe they really were tired of the place. Some people are tired of here. I personally love it and can't imagine leaving, but a lot of the people who claim to want to be over here so bad, they actually hate it here. Yeah. They run back every vacation. They can't wait to get out of here in the summertime. They are counting it down. They put timer. They have apps on their phone with these. I work with these people. They will show me their app with the countdown to when they're leaving and stuff like that. They can't wait to leave.
And then when they leave, then they want to come back.
No, not necessarily. They'll come back because maybe they have a good job here. Not necessarily that. I'm talking about people who go on vacation every year. The people who go on vacation every year, that's the relief they need. Then they can come back and function the rest of the year here fine. You know. Then there's different types. And then there's the ones that just hate it here. They're miserable here and don't
I'm in my mind like, how can they be miserable in a place that everybody dreams to go?
Some people are just miserable people. That's just how they are, you know. Or some people really want that American lifestyle. They faking it like they want, you know, the Salafi Disney World. They really don't want the Salafi. They'll say that's what they want, and then that's not truly really what they want. They want to see the half-naked women. You know what I'm saying? They want that. They want those options. At least in America, you get an option to be, you know, whatever by day when you're at work, you know, David by day and Dawood by night, you know. Mm-hmm. So here, you know, maybe that's not what they will expect. I think that's a big fitna for the guys here when they realize that they can't just get to the women as easily either, you know.
Mm-hmm. My husband, when he went overseas, he went to Morocco, and he was at all and how modest the women were. He said that the majority of the women there were covered, and when they weren't covered, they were looked at funny. And I was like, I love that, because here I'm covered and everybody's looking at us funny. So I'm like, I can't wait to get that opportunity, not to say look at somebody funny, but yeah, I'm gonna look at somebody funny. I'm like, look at that loose woman.
Well, times changing. My boys went out about 2 days ago. First thing he does, send me a message. He's at the mall. He's like, "Mommy, you won't believe this. These women aren't covered anymore. Riyadh is different now. They don't have a body on. They don't, you know, they don't." So, you know.
Do you feel like the state in Saudi Arabia has changed because of the new king?
Girl, we don't talk about these things.
Never mind.
Yeah.
No, that's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say. We cut that right off.
Next question.
So you gotta say meh. So alhamdulillah. Anywho, so what's your next business ventures? Like what are what's your next thing that you want to do? Tell me about what you're doing currently and what you want to do next.
Oh my God. Well, I have some actual in-person businesses set up. I have 2 male Saudi partners for real businesses. One is in excuse me?
Can they be our sponsor?
My sponsor?
I said, can they be my sponsor? Get us over there.
Oh, let me finish what I'm saying.
All right, let me be quiet.
I was like, that's a done deal. So I have a training and development business that I'm co-founder of with a Saudi man, and who I met on LinkedIn. I highly advise everyone to get on LinkedIn for connections and everything. He and I have a training and development. He's a high official in the healthcare industry here, and so that is, and workforce development is a big thing here. Was a big thing here, and that's what I was doing here in Mecca. I was training the girls in the hospitality and tourism field because this is Mecca, and because the country is moving towards tourism. That's part of the 2030 vision. So that was my job, to train them for hospitality and tourism. And that college did not reopen because there's no hospitality and tourism right now. So the training and consultancy business, as you know, everywhere in the world, that took the hardest hit with COVID. Mm-hmm. That's the first to go with budgets. All the departments, any jobs that are open now, the budget, there's no budget for training and development at all. So we have no business now. The other partner that I have, he has an office for me in here in Mecca and everything. He lives in Jeddah. I live in Mecca, so I have the Mecca office. He has the Jeddah office. We both working out of our homes. We're both home doing nothing with that business. That business is for tourism. 2 parts. Tourism outside of Hajj and Umrah. We're taking, and this is, I love this one because this is actually what I taught my students last semester, how to add additional services to the Hajj and Umrah packages. So that was one of the courses that I was teaching, and he took me to do that very thing. The people are coming here for Hajj and Umrah anyway. Now we have tourist visas. Let's add additional things. Which is all part of my mindset anyways. I'm all about multiple streams of income and having additional things. So I actually got to teach them how to do this. So now that Sally's opened up to tourism and they have other attractions and other things to do, before you just came, you made Hajj and Umrah, that was it. You were only allowed to go to Mecca, Medina, and Jeddah. Now they're allowing them outside of Mecca, Medina, and Jeddah, and you can go to Al Ula or Neom or any of these other little places, to Baha, any of these other places, and there's a lot of places. So that's one part of my actual business here, is to be the tour operator, basically. The other and take them on but our focus is going to be on Islamic sites. That was going to be our focus, taking them to the the places, all the different Islamic sites, the mountains, and which is pretty much part of the Hajj and Umrah package for some packages, but we were going to make sure they had that. And the other service that he has the license for, because he has 5 different business licenses, is for the foreign investors. Again, we're waiting. There's no visas, so it's nothing we can do right now. So in the meantime, my little savings started dwindling away because after COVID, I wasn't working at the college didn't reopen. My businesses are all closed, and I've just been in the house. So in September, I found out from a friend about this training program as an affiliate, how to be an affiliate marketer, make money online, in this course that you take for branding yourself and building your business online, no matter what the business is. It doesn't have to be as an affiliate marketer. It could be as in any business this training works for. So that's when I opened up this Facebook page in September. It's a new page, just a few months old. And I started implementing the training that I received from this program. And it's been wonderful. Originally, when I opened it, people would, you know, ask me, oh, when they found out I was here in Saudi Arabia, could I go shopping for them? And I was low key offended. And I'm like, I'm on here setting up a business. I'm on here. I'm sorry, you want to say something?
No, I was telling the kids to shut up.
Okay. So everyone would ask me, can you give me this? Can you give me that? And I would be like, no, I am not your personal shopper. I'm not a personal shopper. I'm on here setting up an online business. That's the only reason I have this page. We all still, please stop, because my inbox will be flooded with people saying, can you get this? Can you get that? Can you get this? So eventually I was like, I'm your personal shopper. And I made a business out of that. I was like, okay, this is too much of a demand. I'm going to supply that demand. So I now how I make money by providing a personal shopping service. I'll go shopping for you. I'll get the clothes. I'll get the buyers. I'll get the things that you want, and I'll go to Silk here and ship it to you in America. And then recently, I got in on a crypto opportunity. New to all of this. I'm new to this whole online space. I've only had this account for 3 or 4 months. So I'm new to affiliate marketing, not brand spanking new to affiliate marketing, because about 10 years ago, I was an affiliate marketer. I called myself the veiled affiliate. That was my tag, the veiled affiliate. But I didn't do well in it. I didn't know what I was doing. But with this training,
different?
What's different now is the training I received from the training program that I told you about.
That you recommend this to other sisters or other people.
Anybody that's trying to brand themselves and build a business online. Most people, including myself, are doing it all wrong. All wrong. Everything we're doing online, might as well forget about it. We're just doing it all. We're doing it all wrong. And we have to. That's so much. So it's eye-opening. The training is very eye-opening. I give away a lot of the training in my Facebook group, though. So I do have a Facebook group, Easy Peasy Facebookpreneur Strategy, or FBpreneur Strategy, because my page is FBpreneur Strategy and my group is Facebookpreneur Strategy. Anyway, so I do share the training that I received, some of the, in there, so you can get that from my group, inshallah. If anyone's in my group, they can get some of that training as well. But it helps me with whatever it is I want to do. So I want to do the personal shopping, fine. It helps me with that. I'm doing this crypto business. I was able to build my team. As of today, has 182 people on my crypto team. And it's not like I don't go in groups, spamming groups. I don't go on people's page, spamming people's page. I don't talk about it every single day on my page. I talk about whatever I want on my page. Me, my kids, personal shopping, anything I'm doing, I'll talk about, Saudi Arabia, anything. So it's not like, you come to my page and all you see is business, 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 business. You're going to see some everything, on my page.
I'm actually joining, I'm joining the affiliate marketing because I see the success that is giving you. So, well, I don't know. I'm assuming the success that it is giving you.
Engagement, actually. Success takes a while to gain, but it depends on what you consider success. I've been very successful as far as branding myself and everything like that. Now, people talking about, are you rich yet? No. Nah, I ain't that successful. You
have enough money to sustain yourself, obviously, because you're not working during the COVID months. You have
some of the lifestyle here helps with that, because we pay our rent by the year here. So like some of the big items are already taken care of. I had already paid my kids' tuition off. So, like I said, my savings dwindled down because I paid off the kids' school tuition. I paid off the rent, all the big stuff I got out of the way. So now it's just a matter of, I gotta pay for the internet, I gotta pay for the electricity, which is ridiculous, groceries and stuff like that, So it's survival. But alhamdulillah, none of these businesses are replacing my full-time job income at this point, but they all have the potential to.
Well, inshallah, that's something to look into. But with the crypto, how, so people just come to you, you mentioned it a couple times, and how does it work as a team? You have a crypto team. Explain that a little bit further, if you don't mind. I'm not saying to explain crypto, period.
The company I went is a blockchain referral based company. And when they say referral based, because they give you the opportunity to be an affiliate for them or a network marketer. I don't know which term they really use. They use the network marketing scheme, the MLM scheme, but you're an affiliate for them, meaning that when you promote them, you get commission or bonuses or whatever the term is that they're using. Everyone uses a different term. Mm-hmm. So the biggest thing is the biggest opportunity is the investment opportunity. There's a new crypto coin out in the market. It just hit the crypto exchanges December 15th. I got in a week before that. All the partners got in, nobody started being a partner before December 1st. So it's really, really new. I got in like the second week of December. And our jobs as affiliates or partners for this program is to bring value to the coin. You have to hype up the coin first, get it from, because the market is what brings value to the coin. Bitcoin had no value for many years, it had no true real value for many years. And now it's over $35,000 for one Bitcoin. Started off at 8 cents for a Bitcoin. Our coin started off at 2 cents. So we have a price making strategy for that coin, where our first goal is to get that coin to 25 cents, then to 50 cents, then to $1 by March, and then after that, inshallah, beyond, so this is,
if somebody is willing somebody wants to sign up under you as a part of your team, what are the steps that they have to do?
See, that's where the second opportunity comes in, if they sign up underneath me, because it is set up like a network marketing thing. You can come in, sign up, and just be an investor and acquire and accumulate your coins and just wait for that. But if you don't have any money to invest in the coin, you have an opportunity to refer other people, and you get paid in Bitcoin or what's that other one? Ethereum. Am I saying that right? Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum. Is it Ethereum? I'm new at this. It's one of it starts with an E. Mm-hmm. So we get paid in those two. I mostly get paid in Bitcoin. I think I've only had a couple of payments in the other one, but I mostly get paid in Bitcoin. And every time I get paid in Bitcoin, all I do is reinvest it in the G999 coin that we're promoting. I just take that money. I experiment every now and then and leave it in my Bitcoin wallet just to see it grow. And I watch it grow. It's real cool to watch your Bitcoin grow. But because I have so little of it, it's really not, to me, it's worth more to put it in, invest it in the G999 coin and have hopes that coin will appreciate in value one day, as opposed to me just having these little bitty pieces of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is 35,000. I have Bitcoin pennies. I think they cost I don't have thousands of dollars of Bitcoin in there. When I say they pay me in Bitcoin, I'm not saying they're paying me $35,000. I get an amount of that, very, very small amount, but it adds up. It adds up. So far, I've had about $1,000 in it, and I just take it and put it over into the G999 coin, and I'm stacking those coins. I have right now, I have almost 40,000 of those coins. Now, remind you, they're 2 cents a coin. I have about 40,000 of them right now. Our price making strategy is to get that coin first to 25 cents, then to 50, then to $1. Right now, I have almost 40,000. And that coin gets $1, inshallah, in March, I can take that, cash it out, and have $40,000 for something that I only paid $99 one time for, because the rest of it has come from my commission. I've only invested $99 in this whole business. The rest of it comes from my commission, and then I just invested in those coins. And I'm still doing every time I get another $99, because you're not buying one coin at a time. You're buying packs of them. For $99, you get 4,999 of these coins. So every time I acquire $99 worth of my payment, my commission, I just exchange the Bitcoin amount and make it a G999 amount. And I'm hoping that, we do our price making strategy. There's no guarantees. We invest, there's no guarantees.
That's the business of being an investor.
Even if it was 25 cents, it's more than the 2 cents that the coin is valued at now. But we all know what happened with Bitcoin. It skyrocketed, and every crypto coin is not going to be Bitcoin, but hey, like I said, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1 is still more than 2 cents, but I'm willing to hold. I'm the type of person, I want to hold it, I have
good way to save.
Excuse me?
It's a good way to save.
Yeah, I have shares in the Aramco IPO. They had an IPO last year, about a year ago. And I got some shares in that. It's funny how much they send us our statement about once a month to show, what we have. And I'm not cashing that out. It's not even worth cashing out. So I was like, I'm gonna just hold. I'm gonna hold. And Aramco was projected. Aramco has the largest IPO out here. It's $1 trillion company. I forget how many trillions. I don't know if it was 1 trillion, 2 trillions, trillions dollar company. And to think I own a part, I have a share, several shares, not a share, because you can't buy just one share of something, Yeah. So I have shares of this company, but it ain't worth nothing right now because COVID, like I said, COVID came and just changed everything. COVID came, y'all didn't even need our oil no more. Who would know? Who would know that we would have oil spilling over, barrels and barrels and barrels of oil and nowhere to put it, So who would know that? A lot of them. So, that investment, a lot of people, some people might be like, how's your Aramco IPO going?
Listen, after the COVID thing is over, people will be traveling. Because in America, we're like itching. Like, we got to get out of here. Like, I just went to the passport office and I was talking to passport people, and they were saying that it went from them only seeing 40 people a day, from them seeing 60 to 70 people a day trying to get their passports to get out of America. So
yeah, people are scared now. They're like, I'm out of here.
With this Democratic Party, everybody's afraid because the morals in the Democratic Party is shot to pieces. So listen, like I want.
And that's the funny thing, because everybody, including Muslims, ran out and started voting to get them in there, not realizing that,
the Muslim, even the Arabs over here, and I want to be like, yo, y'all left, like a lot of you left Egypt or wherever country you came from, and you came here, and you're trying to make it a socialist country, and you don't understand the value of being a capitalist country.
Whew.
Like, capitalism runs the world and it does it well. Like, Islamically, like I think that people don't understand that Islamically being a conservative is something that's natural for us. Having a capitalist system is something that is natural for us. Trading.
I'm not really into politics. I don't know a lot about politics, but I don't have a problem with being taken care of.
Being taken care of, that's because we're women. We're supposed to be taken care of. We're not supposed to be out in the workforce. But to not have, like, we were honestly supposed to be out and go, wherever, but COVID affected my husband's ability to make money, and it messed up our plans.
Well, you said he works 14 hours a day, so he's doing something.
It doesn't matter because he works for a company and he's delivered ice. And so he delivered ice, and the company, like when you make a lot of money delivering ice in our area because they have big events and stuff like that. But when the big events, there was no more events. There was no more, there was not thousands of people to accommodate. So they didn't need to buy ice.
Girl, 1 second. It's 4:30 and this maid's still here. She's been here. She didn't turn. She was supposed to be here for 4 hours. It's going on 10 hours. Let me see what's going on.
How dirty is she? Like, make you feel your house feel dirty? Like, it wasn't that dirty.
It's not. They know in their mind how much money they want to make that day. I only needed her before. She needs some more money. I don't mind because she doesn't charge much. So
yeah.
Let me go see if she's almost finished.
Y'all need to start asking questions. Like, if y'all have any questions for the sister, because y'all asked 1,000,001 questions when she's online, here's an opportunity for you guys to ask questions. I want to see more questions on this live. I know it was early in the morning because I'm like, rubbing my eyeballs. But
she ain't halfway done.
Oh, really?
She got about another 2 hours worth of work to do.
Oh, this is what I want to make. I can't wait to go over.
They case themselves. They already know. They count how many rooms you have in the house, and they make themselves stay in one room for an hour. So she's.
How often do they come?
Once a week. This is a new one though. This is my first time using this one.
Oh, you like? I don't know if I'm using you again.
No, she's thorough. She's very good. Mashallah. She's very, very, very good. The reason why I said it's a couple more hours because she's in the boys' room now. and they had their door locked. They had their door closed when they left. They're in the Riyadh. She just took out tons of dishes out of their rooms.
They do that. Boys is fascinating.
I was like, these boys had all these dishes.
They know why they closed the door.
They had already cleaned the kitchen. I just passed the kitchen and it's all these dirty dishes in there now. And I'm just like, she cleaned the kitchen. And I haven't eaten anything. So she took all these dirty dishes out the boys' room. Now she's she moved all their beds out, and because this is how they do it. They hose everything. Even when she cleaned this room earlier, she took all the furniture out, hosed the floors down. They cleaned the walls, cleaned the what do you call those boards? Floorboards?
Floorboards.
Yeah, she cleaned those, hosed the floor down, and that's what takes her so long, because she's doing that for each room. This room next door to me, and she pulled the rug up, hosed the floor down. The other, I have 3 living rooms, by the way. So each living room, she's pulling all the furniture. So I have 3 bedrooms and I have 3 living rooms.
How you need 3 living rooms?
That's how it is here. That's just how it is here. They're not all called living rooms. What it is you have the majlis, which is this room. This is the majlis. If I were married, this would be the room that the men would be in, but this is my office, so it's my office, but it's technically the majlis. And it's cut off from the rest of the house. That way, when your husband has company, they don't have to, there's a bathroom over here, the majlis, and then the room next to it is the room that the men would eat in, I'm just calling it 3 living rooms. But that's the room. So they would sit over here and chill out here while I would go and put the sufra in the other room, put all the food there, and they don't see me or the maid or whoever's doing it, putting all the food and everything out. And then they would, and it's always set up like that. Let me try to turn it around. So then you have it's 2 doors. This door here is the door that they would walk in, but there's another door that they wouldn't see me going through. So the room has 2 doors. That way I would go through one door while this door is closed. And the carpet makes that door hard to open. So that door, that's how it is. You set it, every home is like that. Every home is like that. They have these 2 rooms. Every home is going to have these 2 rooms in the bathroom on one side. Mm-hmm. Then they're going to have a salat or a family room where the women will sit, or where your family sits and everything. The women, the family, whatever, they sit in that room, and then the bedrooms and everything. So oftentimes it depends on how you want to turn each room. When you look up the listings for apartments and stuff or villas, they rarely distinguish what the rooms are. They'll just tell you this is a 6-room house.
Is it appropriate for X? How much typically is a 6-bedroom house a year?
It changes a lot. Like mine comes out. My rent here at this one is about $650 a month, but I pay about a year, and it's huge. My place is huge. I have a maid's room. You get a maid's room. Pretty much every house has a maid's room because it's standard if you're gonna have a maid.
They live in.
A live-in. I've always had live-in maids except for the past 4 years. I stopped using live-in maids and been using them once a week for the past 4 years because my boys are older now. And I was working, so I didn't want a maid. And, my girls were older. Everybody was older, but the boys are older. And I did have, my nephew used to live with me, and I did have a maid flirt with my nephew before. So you can't be leaving maids and boys around each other like that. So yeah. And often, like, you hear the horror stories about maids being abused in the home, but these maids will come on to also flirt because they're here from their country is lonely. So they will flirt with you too. They will try to,
Oh, so what about your husbands?
Yes, I remember this one maid I had walked in the room one time and she was like, "Is there anything else you want, Baba?" I was like, "Don't you ever call?"
You almost said, "Oh, listen, let me tell you, we ain't about this."
Baba anyway. They're gonna call him Baba anyways. They're not gonna call him by his name. But I didn't like the whole, "Is there anything else you want, Baba?" For one, you don't have nothing to do with him. I've never had a maid serve my husband. You clean or take care of my kids. They only clean my house. I take care of my own kids and my own man, and my own self. That's why they like working for me. They have a maid working for me. Because I don't really have them doing a lot of stuff. I didn't mess up. I don't even know what. Okay. computer's off now.
Yeah. No, I think that's good. I think just having young kids is like living in America. Like when people come, I don't understand the mindset when people like have a really good life overseas and then like have this desire to move to America and they don't realize how hard it is to live in America. And it's just
Because
like
America has excellent PR. It's the American dream. You have the American dream. You can go there. Remember, these people are coming from dirt poor countries with no opportunity. America is the land of opportunity. So I understand why they want to come there. They don't. Saudis aren't trying to come there like that. They say it, but Saudis can't hang in America. They may say it. I
they
want to go
come
over
over
there.
school.
They
They come over
Saudis
school.
like to be on permanent vacations place. They like to go place and vacation. They're not trying to go and have the American work ethic. They're not trying to go over there and work their butt off and start from the bottom all the way up. That's not what they mean when they say they want to go to America.
Hmm.
Now, other nationalities, they will go and do that work from the bottom, work their way up. The Gulf Arabs, no, that's not what they want. They eventually come back here. You don't hear about, scams from Gulf Arabs,
No, you don't. You do
green
not.
cards and stuff like that. No, because they know they may in the future, maybe I don't know, because it's more difficult now. Now they are
I doubt it. I doubt
not as
it because you have to understand America is changing. America is changing, and you come over here, it's more of a struggle. You have less opportunities here. Um,
okay.
it's a different situation here. It's more race bait. It's with the Democratic Party. It's going to be. It's a lot because and if they allow their kids to come over here, like the morals are going to be like really corrupted. So it's
Mm.
like you had to understand that everything goes. Like most Salafi women don't allow
Mm.
their kids out the house. We do
They
not
work.
allow our kids out the house because we worry about our kids Islam. You have like we went to go to the grocery store, and I'm talking about going as a grocery store called Food Lane or wherever you go to the grocery store. It was this guy. He had a whole stash. The joint was thick. He
Mm.
had red lipstick on, a wig on, and he had this floral dress and some heels. And you know I'd say nothing because it's like it is what it is. But I'm saying that's the kind of stuff. And my kids didn't respond because it's so normalized here. So mind you, my kids they go to the masjid, they do this, they do that, but then they see this kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
he could have shaved his beard. He could have accommodated us, shaved his beard, shaved his leg, but
He
he
was like a straight freak then. He was out here.
but that's normal.
Yeah,
And a lot of the Muslims here, the Salafi Muslims, they keep their kids in the house because of the corruption. The corruption is serious.
yeah.
So, and then you got the boyfriend girlfriend thing. I know a sister girl is who has a teenage daughter, and her teenage daughter is now into other women because of the school system, because everybody has to know about gay rights and all this other stuff.
That's
And
sad.
so you have to understand that America, yes, people have this vision about America, but the morals that we once held, you know, are being destroyed. So it's
Right.
like it is what it is. Like you're not it's very corrupt here.
Yeah, and you got to realize some people don't care, and they want that. They may want that corruption. They may want it, you know. And then when
I don't think people understand it. I don't think people want it. I think and when they get over here, the kids
I want to be feel, I hear, they tell me I want to go over there and be free.
and be free. Okay. Nobody that's why we fight so like that's why the conservative people fight so hard just to keep their rights. It's not freedom, it's what is popular. So
Right.
if you have an unpopular opinion, then you better be quiet because this, that, and the other, then you'll be attacked. So it's not freedom anymore. It's just if you have to go along with what everybody else wants
Yeah.
or you'll be attacked or you'll have people have a bad taste in their mouth about you. Like and a lot of the Arabs that I know that come over, I'm from Philly, so it's a big Arab community. The Arabs that come over don't speak English, and then their kids translate. So then their kids take advantage of that, and a lot of the kids are getting corrupt because of the fact that they are kind of in charge because their moms are dependent on them to speak English for them.
Ah,
So
that sounds like me over here though. My daughter's been translating for me since she was 3 years old.
Yeah, but is your daughter corrupt? Because she has that Muslim that is still boundaries
Right.
that are being held. So
But I
it's
feel
like,
like if I go to the school for a meeting or something like that, maybe she doesn't tell me everything that the teacher you know, maybe she's not. I mean, because the teacher's not gonna tell your mother I said you talk too much, or whatever.
yeah, but it's a different situation. It's not going to go from a teacher's. My daughter's not telling me about the teacher's thing to them having a nightlife.
Yeah.
And, so it's easy to do that overseas. I mean, to over here for the kids to take advantage of their parents, and then the parents look at, why did I lose my child? Because you didn't take.
Yeah. How do I lose my child? Yeah. They
So
see it.
a lot of them are losing their kids to the dunya, and I wonder if they regret even coming over here.
I
So
don't. Maybe some, but you know, when you're chasing the dunya, that's what you get.
yeah, yeah, it's something. It's pretty bad.
It's so hard on everybody because some people's situations are that bad, and that's the choice they have to make. If you go to, you mentioned Palestinians and everything, the people in Palestine rely heavily on those who made it out to survive.
Yeah.
The Palestinians won't be able to survive over there if it weren't for the ones who left to support them.
Mm.
That's how they're supported.
Well, they have that network.
So it's a sacrifice that they make. They go, but then they don't have to do the stuff. They don't have to go open up a liquor store and sell pork skins, and lottery tickets either.
They don't. They do not. And then like they look down at the pregnant Americans, and they're like, oh, well, they it's just like a weird thing. Like they look down at the people who practice, and I'm like, take a
Yeah.
seat. Just start praying a little bit.
I mean, but that will happen even here. You may mean depends on that person's level. Even here, they'll look at you like you're American, and like at my daughter's school when they were in school, there's a rule here. I don't know if the rule's still now, but back then, fourth grade, you had to start wearing the niqab. You cannot get past the Harris if you don't have a niqab on your face. You got to have a abaya on and a niqab. They were trying to make exceptions for my daughters, and I was like, no, they got to do it like everybody else. They would be like, oh, that's the American. And I'm like, well, you all know they need to do that too. And I don't want them to be like everybody else when it comes to everything, but stop doing it. The teacher would tell her, you're American, you don't have to do this. You're American. And that would really bother me, because, they weren't treated like, sometimes they weren't even treated like they were Muslims sometimes because it's like, why are you want to do that? Why would you want to do this? Why did y'all come here? Why aren't y'all back in America? And that would make my kids get upset. Like, mommy, why are we here? Why aren't we in America?
And they start questioning things.
Yeah,
But
they do the answers, but still.
a lot of the Muslim women here, our daughters love niqab. Our daughters love hijab. So my daughter Sophia, she wants to wear it so bad now. Like I bought her like this little set with a niqab, and it's so cute.
No, the girls here, this is another thing that's different from here and there. That's in America, you have to establish your Islamic identity with your children when they're young. But here, since they already know they're Muslim and there's no identity per se that they need to establish, the girls here don't. And this is why I'm like, they always say that the people are oppressed, but the girls here, their hair is uncovered until the very last minute. Nobody's forcing their daughters. No, the girls here they will wear an abaya, because they have on a cute little dress or whatever. They're having a abaya that's open, but they won't have their hair covered until they have to, But in America, the American Muslims thing, the baby has a kimar on, but
cute.
Well, they don't think they're here. They don't think it's cute. That's the last thing they want. Because they want the girls to have the freedom as long as they can. You know what I'm saying? They want them because then at some point you're gonna. And I was the same way. My daughters did not cover until they had to. I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, but that's just I wanted them to have fun and play outside and do little things like that. But and there are other people here whose daughters will cover. Usually the American women, their daughters cover very young, and they have a hard time at school. And the mothers are usually making them cover. The girls don't want to cover like that. They're wearing it. No one covers their hair at school. You know, it's all a girls' school, no need. But for some reason, the American sisters are like, making their daughters cover in school too. I'm just like, why are you doing that? Your daughter's embarrassed now because she's the only one doing it. And the
I think
teachers,
it's because it is the American thing that we have. Like we have to have so much pride. Is a fitna here to wear your niqab. You have to have that sense of pride because you're amongst a whole bunch of Americans who don't understand why. And I'm not just talking about white people. I'm talking about black people because the people that I get most issues from is like the Black Baptists, calling you the devil on us, all that stuff, and the white liberal women because they feel like they like we burnt enough bras for you not to have to wear this.
right,
So
right, right. Yeah.
so but it's not like the white conservatives because once they understand like who you are, they're like, okay, well, whatever, she wants to wear it, let her live her life. But it's like the white liberal women who like are angry about it. So you
Yeah.
have to have that sense of pride, and then to go over to another country and them not have that pride is like it's weird because I'm like, I want Sophia to wear her kimar now. I want her to do this, her to do that. And but if I go overseas, like I know a companion who is now, excuse me, sorry, who is now currently in Saudi, and she had her daughters in hijab, and her teachers advised her, no, she doesn't wear it now. So to fit in more, she took it off and stuff like that, and because they were young. But in America, it is looked at as cute. Oh, can you make my daughter this hijab
Yeah,
real quick?
yeah. I see the whole steps. They are. No, I totally get doing it in America because you want your child to have that pride, that sense of honor of being a hijabi. But there's no real need to do that here.
Yeah, I don't know. It probably will change, but I know that Sophia wants to wear it because
Mhm.
of how prideful I am, or how beautiful she thinks my hijab is.
That's good that she. But they get over here and they be embarrassed about it though. Oh, really? Because
You
because
think?
everything, I've seen it, and people, the girls will tell me, whose mother are making them do it and everything. They'll tell me that they really don't want to do it, or they'll tell my daughters that they didn't want to do it. Um, um, and sometimes I'm not sure the mother's actual real reasons. I have theories for some, but I won't say what they are. But yeah, it's just everything is gender segregated anyway, and that's our opportunity to.
Chill.
Right. So these girls, so you'll have these girls whose mom's still making them cover in an all-girls setting, and everyone's like, take it off. Why are you like the university, the schools won't allow it for one. So it's only so much that, the mom will usually come up to the school and try to fuss, which embarrasses the child even more. Because the rules at the school, you cannot wear it, but once you come inside, security makes you can't keep your abaya on or your hair covered.
Really?
Yeah, and we have security to enforce it. The universities, I don't know how they do it in the schools, but the universities, the security will come around. The female security comes around, checking every class, make sure the girls don't have their bias on or anything. They come in and remind the teacher. If they see, the teacher will get rolled up if she's letting students. So that means now I'm in a position where I have to tell a girl, take off your, abaya.
Is
Don't
that
worry. But it's not often that happens, and that's why it's usually fishy when they do it. You're like, what? Especially exam time, they can't even bring it in the room. Exam time, everyone has to roll up their bag, put it in their bag. Bags have to go on the wall. It's crazy exam time here. But yeah.
Man, it's crazy. I never thought it would be like that in a Muslim country.
What not? I mean, it's separate. There's no need to cover. What would be the purpose of covering?
You're right. You're right. I get that. I get that.
I love that. And this is the other thing. When the American teachers do come over here, because most of the jobs here for the American Muslims are teaching English. Oftentimes, they don't even come with the right clothes. They come and thinking they have to wear the Bible, because in America you wear the Bible all day. You go to work, you work with men, you're covered at work all day. It's not like that here. So they don't have any clothes to wear. And we have dress codes here. You wear a black, at the universities, you wear a black skirt.
Yeah.
And they're loosening up the dress codes, but originally everyone wore a black skirt and a shirt that couldn't be shorter than the elbow.
Yeah.
had to cover your elbow. And you can wear any color shirt, but the skirt had to be black. And the students too. The students and the teachers, all the same things. They over the years they've like loosened up on the dress code. But so many of the teachers would come over here from America and the UK and anywhere else and would wear their abayas to work. And they'd have to wait at least a month until if they didn't have any money, they'd wait until payday because you only get paid once a month here. They'd wait to payday and they'd be in that abaya every day until they could go shopping on payday and get them some clothes. And they would be so happy on payday because they couldn't believe that oh wow, I can really dress like this, So they would be so happy and they come to work finally dressed well. Where at first they came to work and they just looked depressed. Honestly, it starts looking depressed. I know people like, you gonna say that, but it looks oppressed when everyone else is out just chilling and everything at work. And these are big, huge universities, and you're the one all wrapped up in your hijab and abaya at work. It's like, why do you have that on? Take that off. You're embarrassing me.
Khadija Williams says, same thing happened to me in the UAE. They don't get it, mashallah.
I forgot about comments. I just shared this on my page because I forgot I could do it on my phone. All the time I tried to do it here on the computer and it wouldn't even show up. It said content not available. So I just checked my phone and I was able to share it. Yeah, so sister lived in the UAE. Yeah, it's all the same. All the Gulf countries, it's pretty much the same.
Okay. Well, alhamdulillah.
My sister, she lives in the UAE, but she and I have different experiences because we practice Islam differently anyway,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How was that? Like, I live in a family. I'm the one that's Salafi, and I think like everybody thinks I'm extreme.
I'm sure my family thinks that. They still love me, but I'm the only person who covers in my whole family.
That's lonely.
Yeah, and my family's Muslim. My cousins and everybody, they're Muslim, but you can't tell them they're not Muslim, but you would, from the way they live, it's not apparent.
How does it affect you emotionally?
How does it affect what?
How does that affect you emotionally?
It doesn't. Why would it bother me emotionally?
It's lonely.
I've been over here for years. It's not lonely to me. And when I was in America with them, I had only recently started practicing myself.
Oh, okay.
So and my family. This is my father's family. My mother's family. I'm not really around them like that. But even her family, it wouldn't matter. They just crazy about me. Look, so my sister and my mother aren't happy with me covering my face, but the rest of my family, it doesn't bother them one bit. My sister and my mother, they're not happy with it, but no, the rest of the family, no, they're like, do whatever you want to do.
And Miss Allah Hawa, she mentioned that my family thinks that think that of me as well, and I'm the only practicing Muslim, and she's Salafi as well. So she's I'm assuming that she's saying that she's a little, everybody thinks she's extreme. That's the lonely part about it. Like when you the only one that believes what is supposed to be done.
I guess I don't get lonely. Maybe I think I probably don't get lonely. It's a feeling I don't really get. So it's not that lonely for me being different.
Yeah, Aisha Sims giving salams. Like, assalam, girlfriend. Anybody have any questions for Intizar? Does anybody have any questions for her? Comments? Because she's very popular on social media. And I know a lot of people ask her a lot of questions. Here's your time to ask her any questions that you want. We currently have like a couple viewers, so now we need some more. Come and look at, come and hear what we gotta say. We're talking about whatever, right now. If she doesn't feel comfortable with answering her questions, she just let you know. But I guess everything's open right now.
Ask me anything.
Almost anything.
Well, they can ask. I'll answer. You said it already. It doesn't necessarily mean that
you're gonna answer.
I'm gonna answer.
So how does marriage work overseas? Like because you've mentioned on a couple of your posts about your interest in marrying. Would you marry an American or would you marry someone from Saudi?
about to get me in big time trouble.
Uh-huh.
Woo! Okay, which part? It makes absolutely no sense for me to marry somebody from America at this point in my life. It makes no sense. It just doesn't. It doesn't fit in. It's not aligned with my vision. So that would make no sense, unless that person from America was already here, live the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of American families over here like that, like me. If it was someone already over here like that, and then that would be something to consider. But someone in my DMs from America, you know, Salaam alaikum, sister, how you doing? Are you married? Don't worry about that, because it makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense.
So like a lot of the brothers come at you, and what are they? I know I seen one of your posts, and then you were saying that the brothers is coming at you, asking to see how they can benefit from you instead of how you benefiting from them.
Not all. There's some who I guess can benefit me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand because we never even get to that point. And it's usually dead immediately. So it doesn't get to the point. But I did have one in particular. I don't even know who he is. I don't really remember these people. Write me almost like a really nice proposal. It's the official Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and Cookbaka Hudson. It was the whole. He thought he was coming correct. So he has all the stuff before the Amabad. And then after Amabad, it's like, I want to marry you because you seem like you have together and you're independent and you can help me with this and you can help me with that and you can get me over to Saudi Arabia. Let's stop right there. It's not gonna happen. So yeah, that's not where I am at in my life right now. For the record, I'm 50 years old, and most of these people haven't even bothered to find out anything about me. They just immediately come to your inbox and, without knowing anything about you. I'll have people come to my inbox and ask me, where am I from and where do I live? That's on my profile. If I'm interested in anybody, you can bet, and I already stalked your profile for months. I didn't know. Went back, I didn't scroll. I'm gonna find, and I'm not talking about just a man. I'm talking about there's a female that wants to do business with me. How come I found your profile? I want to see the type of person I want to do business with. I may not have read everything because I skim. I'm not gonna read everything, but I'm gonna skim. And then when I skim, that means I know where you're from. That means you haven't even looked on my page. You haven't even checked out. It's obvious. It says right there exactly where I'm from and where I am. So, I don't like that type of silliness anyway, because that lets me know that your intentions aren't really good. You're just a nerd. I'm not even flattered because I already know I'm just one of the
one of the billion. One of the generic people. I've gotten very inappropriate pictures from brothers, and but it would be brothers that have women.
Shot a message to the brother sent her, and she posted it, and I had the same exact message from the same person. I found it so funny. So apparently he's copying and pasting and just going into sister's inbox with the same thing, and it makes me sad because some sisters entertain that. Some sisters can't wait for a brother to go in their inbox. I'm just like, you guys mess it up for the rest of us.
I know, like I want them to stop. Emma, how do you go about getting over there? So she wants the advice about how to get over there.
Okay, so we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
In the past, it's been primarily 3 ways to get in the country. Umrah visas, work visas, or student visas. An Umrah visa and now a tourist visa doesn't give you a resident permit. You're allowed to come and stay for a certain amount of time and leave. The only way you can get a residence permit is if you find a job, come over on a work visa, complete your 3-month probation and have it turned into a resident permit. And same with the student. You have to be accepted to the university.
Mm-hmm.
Come over here as a student and have that turned into an iqama, a residence permit. Currently, at the moment, due to the pandemic, there are no visas being issued other than Umrah visas. And I'm not sure which, they're doing that in phases. So I'm not sure which country. I don't even know if Americans have, I don't think Americans have been here yet for Umrah. I know they started, I think, with Pakistan. So I'm not sure I'm not even sure how they're doing that, but that's for Umrah. I don't know what they'll do for Hajj this year. Last year, my intentions were to make Hajj. My landlord owns a Hamla, and I was to go with him and his family on Hajj. And then, COVID came, and at one point we didn't even know if they would have a Hajj, but of course they didn't cancel Hajj, but they made it a limited Hajj, and only took people from within the country because the borders were still closed at that time. And I applied, and they selected people from the computer, a random selection, and I wasn't selected to go. So this year, I don't know how they will do it. I don't know if it will be the same. I'm sure it's still going to be limited because Hajj is right around the corner. It's going by so fast. Ramadan is 3 months away. That means Hajj is 5 months away.
Yeah.
And this virus doesn't look like it's going to be over by then. So will the borders be, I don't know what they'll do for Hajj this year as far as, I'm thinking they probably will because they have international people coming from Umrah already. I think it'll just be very limited, probably more than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Because now on my group today, they were saying that if you want to go on Umrah now, you have to get vaccinated now. And that just started like today or yesterday. So now when you go and you apply.
So, wait. So it's mandatory. I'm about to get that as a question, but is that mandatory?
I cannot confirm or deny. I haven't verified that it was. We have a method. We have, the WhatsApp groups. We have our little groups for the sisters here.
Mm-hmm.
And someone posted an article that I didn't read. I'm a headline reader. I'll tell you. I just read headlines. I barely open up anything. So the headlines, and from the discussion, they were saying it was unclear because they gave it to us. It was from Saudi Gazette or Arab News. You can look it up today. But Saudi Gazette and Arab News do horrible jobs translating. So a word like must, the headline said that this man from the Ministry of Health advised that those who want to go on Umrah get the vaccination first. But then when you open the article and you read the article, the quote that he said, which is translated because it was done in Arabic, and I didn't see, there's no Arabic there, so you can look it up yourself, So you're reading the English and it says that he says, you must. So it's like, did he mean must, or was this a bad translation? Another reason why you need to know Arabic lesson, because the little things like that makes a big difference. So now it's, people panicking like, do I have to get this vaccination to go on Umrah?
I'm worried about it too, because I ain't trying to look like I'm not trying to have my face slumped over.
Well, I think that when they go to renew e-commerce, thing that we're going to have to, that I already pretty much feel that's going to be one way to do it. Whenever you go to renew anything, then you'll probably have to take the vaccination. I hope not.
A mess. So we have another question. What are the work opportunities like for women?
In general, for women in general, we're not talking about American women. And in the past, the most popular fields for women were in education and healthcare.
Okay.
And I think that's probably worldwide, but those are almost the only two real opportunities they were going to be. Now, they were going to be somewhere in
probably teaching, right? Teaching English.
Excuse me?
Teaching English, like, isn't it an opportunity for women?
In the past, yeah. I mean, it's an opportunity. I mean, when you say women, do you mean women here, that Saudi women? What do you mean?
No, like women who are from America who speak English naturally.
Okay, because I was saying in general, this is why I'll be more specific in a minute. Okay. In general, the main fields here are in healthcare and in education. It's opening up more to different businesses, but still, those still are primarily the two main things. For American women, it's pretty much in education, the opportunities. They don't really use American healthcare providers unless you're some top of the line specialist or the head of the nursing department. The nurses come from the Philippines and India and places like that. They staff the staff, and there are a few Western nurses, but it's not a big opportunity. How they got in that field, I don't know, because the recruiting is done, with in the Philippines and India and places like that. However, there have been some heads of departments and things like that from America. But for just your average American Muslim, it's going to be, you have some, like the average American Muslim is here teaching English. Of course, there are some exceptions. There's some that's here doing other things, but the most common way was to come over here teaching English. That's not an opportunity really anymore. It's not even just for COVID. For COVID, it's not an opportunity at all because there's no work visas going out. But even before that, they started Saudization. We have successfully trained the Saudis now. We've been over here teaching English for 20 years. They're ready. It's a generation, 2 generations of people who speak English fine. About 10 years ago, they started allowing them to go to the international schools. Before that, they couldn't go to the international schools. So now, for the past 10 years, these kids are starting off learning English in first grade. Whereas before, if they were in the Saudi school system, they started learning English in sixth grade. So now their English is a lot better because, if you acquire a language before 6 years old, you're almost native speaker, so they're learning English at an earlier age now. They're being taught it at every single level. All of the universities' curriculums have been turned to English. And that's where our big opportunity was. When the universities changed their curriculum to English, they opened up prep year programs, which meant that all of the students had to do 1 year of English. And that's where when the Americans really started pouring in. At first, they were working in schools, just teaching at a school here and there. But then once the universities switched their curriculum over to English and required that first year the preparation program, then they opened up these technical colleges that required 1 year of foundational English. Then there were tons of opportunity, but that's no longer the case. They're hiring less and less foreign workers now. That's the goal. The goal is to be less dependent on foreign workers.
So I have another comment or question. I feel like I feel like where you are, Assistant Intezar, is safer for younger girls, but to be uncovered. But we are engrossed in evils like pedophilia and rape and incest and like immoral cartoons and stuff like that, and it's not. So I'm assuming that she's saying that it's not safer over here to cover. So do you feel like
maybe it sounds like she's saying, okay, over there where you are, the girls maybe even uncover and be okay, but in America they need to stay covered so that the men don't. That's anywhere in the world, and it doesn't matter if they're covered or uncovered. Anywhere in the world, you're going to have bad people doing bad things, and bad things happen here. So I don't want anyone to think that over here is perfect and bad things don't happen. There's child molestation over here, just like anywhere else in the world.
Yeah, you gotta keep your babies with you. I don't care how old my kids is; they always with me.
They watch the kids like hawks over here. Well, they don't watch them. Yet they do watch them. It's funny. They don't watch them like you could be walking down the street and see the mother and the father walking ahead of the little babies who's running in the street, and you want to grab them. But when they're around strange men and stuff like that, oh, they're watching them like a hawk. I don't care if it's the uncle, the cousin, or anybody else. They don't know. They're watching them because they know that things can happen. Anything can happen.
We're just jaded as Americans because we have, like, the rape culture. We have things. Girls are sexualized. They are sexualized something serious.
In the world, though, that's worldwide. Yeah. That's worldwide. Talk to women all over the world. The thing with Americans and African Americans in particular, we think everything is just us, and we don't have a world perspective.
We do not.
Very limited view. That's not just our problem. And like how Black people think there's even like groups of Black people that will scream, we have it worse than we're the most mistreated people in the world.
Oh, you're not. You are not. We have less privilege than most people. We can say what we want. We can do what we want. And if we get in trouble, if we rob a bank, all we got to do is say, oh, the white man did it. And then we good. Sorry about that. I wasn't yelling.
Black people even believe that themselves because otherwise they go to Africa and they try to go there. So You know, they must not even believe their own rhetoric, because otherwise,
Exactly.
why aren't you trying to go to another place then? You're not trying to go to another place because you don't want to live like that.
Exactly. Don't nobody wanna tell the truth for real, for real. Like, let's just be honest, because everybody's talking about how oppressed we are as Black people. I'm like, yeah, right. Black women are the most educated. We are in our own way. Y'all want to cry about police brutality and all of this stuff. Tell Ray Ray, stop shooting up people. Okay? Ray Ray, stop. Okay. So the sister replies to what you said. She said, I'm aware it happens everywhere, but is the range, like, she asked him, like, is the range higher or is it lower where you are right now in reference to pedophilia and stuff like that?
Because we don't, over here, they're not going to publicize that. They're not going to expose their child to that, and now everyone knows your child's labeled that girl who's raped. So America's very open. We're going to go on the news. We're going to tell our whole story. And there's going to be pictures out. That's a shame. That's it's not just that it's shameful over here. It's just you have to protect that child's future. So when you go and you tell everybody, my daughter was raped, or my son, because boys get raped too, was raped, then no one's going to come out and say that. It's done. It's over. We're going to try to help her get through this, but we're not. But they want to keep that. They keep it under wraps.
Which makes sense. Which makes
They
perfect sense.
Now, and if it is reported to the police, then those numbers are not. It's not reported to the media. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe the police may know, and that's a maybe, but it's not gonna go to the media.
Yeah. It was a comment that said that we do feel like the crime rate and the corruption is more here than in other Muslim countries. Do you agree?
Yeah, sure.
So you have the kuffar coming at Muslims talking about the Sharia law is not the best, and I'm Muslim. I love me some Sharia. I don't care. Somebody asks me, I don't care if I'm conservative or not. Everybody knows that I'm an open Trump supporter. I do not care.
Not everyone. I wasn't aware of that.
I don't care. I did my walkway store and everything. No, because Trump makes sense. So I voted for Trump, and I don't care. So people are. So if any kuffar asks me, oh, do you believe in Sharia law? Yes, wallahi, I love it. Like, if I had the opportunity to live under it, I know my life will be 10 million times better.
And when you don't follow it, then things get worse. They're stopping a lot of the stuff here. Before, the hand chopping was a big thing, and it's a deterrent. They're not chopping hands off anymore.
They need to start chopping people's hands off. Chop, chop, chop.
They stopped a lot of stuff because what's that world organization that's watching everybody? What's it called?
Who? Is it who?
That's the health one. Now the other one.
Somebody help us. What is? Y'all know who it is.
They're the watchdogs of the world to make sure that
Nobody care about what they think. Like, I want Saudi to live their life because they were successful.
I want them to also, not worry.
They don't understand their success. Their success came from them fearing Allah enough to go against what everybody was saying. Yeah. What everybody was saying. You feared Allah enough to follow Quran and Sunnah and to implement things. Who cares? Everybody is going to look at us as Muslims as if we're bad. We were supposed to be looked at like we're strangers. But if you can,
it's changed a lot. It's moving kind of fast. Even though I was actually extremely happy that women couldn't drive here. I was probably like one of the only people who was actually happy about it. Some women, they didn't, they don't want to drive, but it's not like they're happy about it. I personally, when I got here and found out I couldn't drive, I was so happy because to me, I'm the type of woman I don't like to do everything. I know my Facebook, everyone seems to think that I'm out here screaming strong woman, independent. No, I'm not. That's not. Nice. You all need to read better because that's not what I'm saying. So I like I like my husband doing things for me. So when we moved, I was running a lot of errands in America, doing a lot of stuff and having a baby, and I didn't like that. So when we got here, the men here, what I like about it forces and I love when the American men come here and the women are like, oh my God, my husband has to do this now. The American women get here and they're like, some of them, if they're super, super independent and have that mindset, then they feel like, oh my God, I don't like this, I have to wait for my husband. Then there's others like me who absolutely love it,
I think I will love it.
Girl,
think I
fall
love it.
back and let a man be a man. You know,
Yes.
no, he's gonna do everything, you know. And
No,
then
but you have to understand, like, is in America, you have to be the way because, like I told you, my husband usually works 12 to 14-hour shifts. I have to go shopping, or we can't eat because he can't work
that's
it.
you may be a workaholic over here too, but you're gonna have a driver, you're gonna have a maid, you're gonna just focus on you and those kids.
Yeah, but guess what? How are we like everybody talks about how, like, you have to understand the viewpoint of Americans when it comes to Saudi. They think that you women are so oppressed, that you women, I know you want to get out the shackles. I'm like, I've never met a woman, a group of women, like everybody talks about going, like the women that I know, the black women I know, they're like, yeah, I'm living a life. Like, you don't understand, like, you never met an expat from an expat's wife from that works in Saudi and actually doesn't appreciate it. Like, it's like a different life. Like, everybody always want to go back. So I don't know what they look at. Like, they just want us to hate Saudi, and I'm like, yeah, right.
Even the P word, polygyny, the American brothers, they get over here, and in my opinion, they do polygyny way better than they do what I'm hearing about in the States. The same brothers from America, they're over here and they handling polygyny much better.
So no 4 wives. They're not booked and everybody on Section 8 and welfare.
They have to take care of them.
Wow.
They have to take care of them. Now, some of them have wives that work and have jobs, but for the most part, they have a better example of it over here. And and now they're shamed. They don't want to. You still got the trifling ones. There's gonna be trifling wherever you are. You know, even trifling Saudi ones. There's gonna trifling. Let's forget about them. But for the most part, I think that the American brothers over here that are doing polygyny are doing a much better job than the ones I've heard of. Not saying the brothers in the States aren't good. I know cases in the States where they're doing well too. But I do think that when they come here and they see it in a different light, it makes them step their polygyny game up some.
That's crazy.
Started with getting them nice furniture and and not living all impoverished looking and
exactly. Because you got sisters here in situations that they shouldn't be in, but they just like so desperate and they like, whatever you want. Yeah, and sister Jamila has said there are some good examples in the US. We do agree with that. There are plenty of examples in the US.
There are some good examples, but I'm saying for the ones who haven't seen a good example, they'll come over here and fuck it up,
Yeah.
Or it for the first time over here, they're entering it already knowing, and it's a little different because also it depends on who that other wife is. And this is why when I say that we have to raise our standards, that same brother may marry an American sister and not give her anything and maybe throwing nothing but a hadith down her throat about marrying the virtues of marrying a poor man and the dowry being easy. He can't say that over here. He's not going to say that to her. He can go and get him a peasant girl from Egypt or Morocco or some of the poorest countries, African in Jeddah, in a bad neighborhood in Jeddah. Her family still going to make sure she gets some gold. They're still going to make sure she gets something. And if they're in that, it's going to come up with that money. He's going to, and I'm not saying it's a whole lot because they're simple too. And it's still an easy dowry, but she's going to have something,
Yes.
And he's not going to tell her father what the best dowry is. He's not going to tell her that. One minute. Hey.
She coming back, girl. She coming back, girls. Y'all need to have some more questions for me. Y'all know y'all got 1,000,001 questions for the sister. Y'all gotta ask her. She coming back. But yeah, Jamila, that's a good point. Like, there are plenty of good, situations in America that people are doing, but she's saying like in the ones that are doing well here is going to be even better overseas because they have a better example. And then I think in a way you got to keep up with the Joneses. You are in alhamdulillah, may Allah increase you, ameen. May Allah protect you guys from the evil eye. She's in a good situation, alhamdulillah. And let me ask you, Jamila, how do you keep that chemistry with your co-wives? That maybe you can give us some advice. Well, not me, I'm not in a polygamous situation, but you know, who knows, Allahu Alam. But don't nobody get no ideas. I'm not playing no games. It's like I'm wrong. Just could you give us some comments? Let me know what you and your co-wife do. Are you guys like family? Is that your sister? Is that your best friend? Y'all been together for 10 years?
Oh, like a girl, I'm cracking up. This one, what time is it? This one, she didn't turn this into a 12-hour job. My room is
Listen,
the last.
she's trying to get her coins. She's trying to get them coins, okay?
My room still hasn't gotten cleaned yet. So she was showing me all the other rooms that she cleaned and telling me she's gonna go eat now. She's taking her break now. She's gonna eat and then she'll do my, she wanted to know if it was all right if she does my room after she eats. And I'm like, okay, girl, go ahead. But
she's probably going really, she's doing a thorough job. You gotta appreciate it because the
funniest part, she's in my kitchen. I tell you, it's her first time here in my house. And most of the people use gas stoves here. I hate the gas stoves here because it's not piped in gas like what we're used to in America. They buy these gas canisters, hook them on the stove, and then you have to get a lighter and light it. It scares me because you have to jump back. It's like a fire that comes out. So I don't like those. I always get an electric stove. Mm-hmm. So the coals, the coals that you burn the bakur on.
Yeah.
On my stove, which is fine, but she has my lighter trying to light my electric stove. And she called me and was like, how do you light? I was like, turn it down. It's electric. Turn it on. I was like, don't light my
boogie.
She burned them. I'm like, no, not like that. So yeah.
Alhamdulillah, she got it. So we were a couple of the system comments. She was like,
and she's gonna be my cook now. I'm so happy because she's Ethiopian and I love having food. I love injera.
Oh, you about to get it in.
Oh yeah, she's cooking. So she's gonna be the maid / cook. So and she's so happy. She's so happy that because the Saudis don't want their food. I love their food. So the Saudis don't.
Yeah, my companion, she was telling me how they had McDonald's and McDonald's is expensive. I'm like, this poor people food. I eat McDonald's.
No, I'm saying that if you are made in a Saudi home, then you're not cooking your food from your country. You're cooking their food and mastering how to cook it. So I'm sure she knows how to make kebsa and all the other Saudi dishes.
Listen, I can't wait. Even if whatever country we go to, I'm getting me a maid. I mean, my husband promised. I'm getting me a maid. She gonna help out because I'm not living this life. You can't expect me to be all together and not have no maid. Because if you want all this,
my ex-husband, I don't have anything bad to say about that man. I take that back. I'm sure
I got bad stuff to say about us. Get on your nerves. No, but I don't like to talk about ex-husbands because the situations with ex-husbands is their situations. And you don't want to reveal any of their sins unintentionally, and then Allah reveals your sins. So I intentionally avoided asking you about your ex-husband because that's not my business. That's not nobody else's business.
He made sure I had a maid. I was just plugging him for that. He made sure that focus on the children. That's what he wanted me to focus on. Focus on the children. Someone will.
Oh yeah, that's what. But my husband would love to have that happen, but we in America, and
because I don't know if you saw that video where I revealed how I cut my hand off as a child and had it reattached.
No.
Yeah. So it's a lot I can't do. So I that's another reason why I have a maid. And maid's not a new thing for me. My mom, we always had maids. Growing up in America, we had maids.
Yeah.
And my ex-husband and I in America, we had. This sounds so bad when I say this. We had Somali refugees living with us. So that sounds so bad. So when we got over here, it's easier and cheaper to do that, to get a live-in maid. He didn't like me in the kitchen because he knew I was always, and my mom didn't like me in the kitchen, so I haven't really grown up in the kitchen. Hey there, Salaam alaikum. So I'm not a fan of the kitchen. So helper.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. No, we had my aunts and uncles come over and clean up. So my mom wanted to employ them.
Yeah, that's right. And you have family to clean up, crackheads. I forget the
Yes, that was crackhead. I mean, sorry. And for cheap, you be like, yo, I need to get my engine fixed. I do it for $5. I'm like, all right, I'm with it.
I know this one lady, she was a crackhead and she would go clean up everybody's house.
Yes, she was trying to get that crack money.
And
Good.
she was anal. She was like very thorough. She was, a good cleaner.
Listen, you got it. When you see that crackhead, you see it because they don't have crackheads like that down south. So it's like I ain't meet one because up north you always get the good crackheads. They don't got the good crackheads down here.
And they just rob you blind later.
Yeah, no, I ain't going front. I had some family members rob us, because my dad was alhamdulillah better. We grew up and we were well off, and and it was weird because it was like they were envious of my mom, but at the same time, they wanted to use my mom. My mom I think her relationship with her brothers and sisters were strained because my mom chose right and made good decisions. So she had that guilt. So that guilt that she felt, she wanted to help them so bad and they just wanted to take advantage of her. So I'm like, I feel like my mom never should have felt guilty for being successful, choosing right, getting married, allowing a man to take care of her.
Muslim or no?
Huh? No, they were not Muslim. My grandmother is from Panama, and my grandfather was in a Navy. So my grandmother, when he died, the Navy took care of my grandmother from head to toe, and they literally had no reason to do what they did. My grandmother had 10 kids with my grandfather, and they all, besides my mom and my other aunt, they all made that decision because it was back in the 70s. And back in those times, it was something to do. It was like a recreation, but they got hooked in it for whatever reason. They,
that stuff they were doing back then was bad.
Yeah, but it was like smoking weed. It was like a recreational thing, and they didn't understand.
Yeah.
So they made they made bad choices, and my mom, of course, wasn't perfect, but at the same time, she made better choices. And when my father bought her houses, my father did this. He was an architectural engineer and traveled the world. Like he took her places and came back with jewelry and everything for us. So I was accustomed to living with or having a high value man taking care of us, and that affected my marriages too. Because understanding
you knew how you were supposed to be treated.
Yes, because when I married my first husband, he was an entrepreneur. He did this and did that, and then when he didn't provide for me the way my father did, I felt offended. That's why I really think that women should not marry down, because you are not going to mentally be able to.
I don't think that's really smart, unless he's exceptional in some other area.
My father told me not to do it, and you know how we think we grown, and I'm like, I'm so desperate to get married, and I'm like, there's nobody, oh my God, and I'm like, Dad, let me do this, and he had every right to say no, but he knew me. I'm very persistent, and he was like, okay. So I made the mistake, and I married him, and and I don't blame my relationships on anyone else besides myself, because it's always a choice, whether he was good or bad.
Take responsibility for your own actions and decisions. Yeah.
Yes, but it was what it was. I married down, and it affected things, like the way he viewed me, the way I viewed him, and it was what it was.
Animosity on both ends, because you're like, he's like, who she thinks she is, yeah, and then it becomes if they think you're better, the goal becomes to break her. Yeah, but then the goal becomes to break her. I gotta break her.
That's it. Wallahi, that's what that's what happened.
I know. Trust me, I know. I listen to women all the time, and I'm like, y'all want a good match, and that's why it bothers me so much when people like get married. I'm like, they weren't a good match. That was doomed from the beginning. It was not gonna work. And so because if his ego is bruised, and if it's difficult for you to show respect because you're looking down at him, he's going to try to break you as much as he can.
That's what happened. But alhamdulillah, I mean, it is what it is. I feel like now I appreciate my husband way, way more because both of us came from really bad situations and it allowed us to protect our relationship, regardless of what the situation, because, we both came from horrible situations and we have our scars, but it was like, okay, well, I appreciate you. Every day we choose each other.
Mashallah.
So would you do polygamy?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the right situation. I don't say yes. I don't say no. The right situation, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The situation would have to fit me. The person, the situation. Like I said, everything has to be in
I'm
line with
talking
my.
about like the whole situation. The woman has to fit me, like, because if I were in polygamy, she had to be my friend. Like,
No,
regardless,
I'm not trying to do all that.
you don't want to. You think? So do you think is you shouldn't
If
have
I
a
were
relationship?
if I were younger and having a family with him, yeah, I'm 50 years old. I'm not about to have any children. I don't need a new
Hmm.
friend. That's not. That's why I said it has to be where I am in life. Part of my
Hmm.
vision. I'm not trying to be girlfriend and best friend. I'm not trying to be the polygynous couple poster board for polygyny couple and you and your two wives and you hold them showing off. No, no,
Yeah, but it was us. We in
yeah,
here.
I'm not doing all.
Jamila agrees. Jamila said yes. It has to be the right. It has to be the right situation.
Yeah.
She says she also said it's not for everybody, and she says that you have to have boundaries, and she has her rights too. Oh, okay. And so then, how would you expect if you were in polygamy? Would you expect? Would you give your child like? 'Cause a lot of women are like, "Oh no, I'm keeping my kids because they my kids." Would you allow your husband to have the kids, or is that a situation?
My kids are, oh, my daughters are 18, 21. My boys are 13 and 16. So I don't even have small children anymore. So that's not really an issue.
Mm.
But that's also one of the reasons why I've been postponing it because I don't want, I wanted to wait till the boys were older, till the girls were married, stuff like that. So one is married, the other one, and if their father was if the father could take care of them, I wouldn't have any problem. They want to be with me though. But
I mean, it seemed like Jamila in a good situation because she said her kids are grown and her co-wife got grands, so she living that life. Because they at a point that they can walk around with the kid, they can walk around in the house to butt naked in there because ain't nobody there to say nothing.
oh, no.
Girl, I mean, I would maybe do it when I'm older, but I don't know. Like right now, I think because we have like young kids. I don't know.
Well, I will say that when we first got over here to Saudi Arabia, I wanted him to take another wife because I was at that time. That's when I was young and having children, and everything is family here. And I wanted my kids to have more family. We're just one little small unit, so I
Mm.
didn't want him to have another wife and have children. So that it was not for me, and it wasn't for him though. It was so that my children had more siblings. I have four children. That's considered small over here. That's
Oh.
considered a small family. The families are really big, and it would just be lonely for my children in the summertime when school was out because all the families traveled at that time, the expats and the Saudis all, and we would just be the only ones left in our neighborhood. And I was like, oh, go find you a wife and have some more babies because my girls were a handful. I needed some playmates for them.
Mm.
So yeah,
Well,
that was my only reason for really wanting him to take another wife. But I didn't want him to have an American wife though. I didn't want that.
really, did you see an American as a fitnet or like competition?
Just have something different. I'm your American wife. What do you need another me? You don't need another. You know.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I guess. I guess.
And I wanted her to. I kind of wanted her to be what I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I wanted her to be able to do the thing, and not that it was my wife, so it wasn't really my decision, and that's why it never happened. I wanted her to give my kids, and again, this is selfish. I'm talking about me and my kids. I'm not even talking about what he wants. I wanted her to be able to give my kids what I couldn't. I had to hire tutors and stuff for them to help them with their homework.
So
They
you
were
wanted somebody to work for you.
right. I know it's really bad.
It's bad. It's real bad.
Help them
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness.
with the homework and
You gotta get your life right.
who enjoyed cooking since I did. I want him to at least have a good meal somewhere, you know. So that's for him. I want him to have a good meal at somebody's house, not mine, but you know.
Maybe some days. No, I can see that, you know, but it seems the marriage plane seems really hard. To me, I don't see getting married as an issue. Like I see women on Facebook posting, ain't no good men out there, and I'm like that was never my issue. My issue was never finding a guy, just the right one. Like I've had so many sit downs, and before I married my husband, they Allah just kept them coming. But
Right.
then I knew it was my husband was the right one because of certain circumstances. So a lack of men isn't was never my issue. Is that an
Right.
issue for you finding men?
No, that's never been my issue. There's never been any woman in my family's issue. My mother, my sister, my cousins, that's not really an issue.
Okay, okay. Is what do you feel like the way was it because of the way you were raised? Do you consider yourself, because a lot of the things that people are talking about right now are high value women and how you can make yourself like a high value woman. People are you're being a little bit more feminine. Do you consider yourself feminine? Is that an attribute that you had that contributed to your success with finding a man?
No, because my femininity, they don't know about it. They don't really know anything. They don't, you know, it's not like I walk, like you can look at me and see I'm feminine. They don't know anything about me. It's just how it is. I don't have an explanation for why people are attracted to me or why, you know, people
I
may
think
ask.
you got the it factor. I got it too. I get it. Real recognize real.
I know I have no answer for that. No explanation at all. It's just is what it is. It just is what it is.
Yeah, come to the line. So do you
I
want
have I have
to?
you
Yeah.
want no, I have an open already.
Yeah, Jamila, people understand that, you know, you are blessed with the mate that you're supposed to be with at the time that it's supposed to happen. I think we just, as human beings, are extraordinarily impatient and not willing to wait. Like, we are created with a partner. And people are not really willing to wait for that partner. Like, that partner that Allah created you for. Like, just imagine finding that person, finding that one, and everything just working out, everything just falling into place, no matter what. Like you can't see yourself without that person. But we force situations that are not for us, like abusive situations. Oh, maybe he's gonna get better. No, he not. He's not gonna get better. He's gonna be the same person. And we just
I'm sorry about that.
got slam. No, so sister said, Inthasar, I think that you personally attract men. Not to say that you're like trying to flirt with them. I just think that I agree. I think like just your attitude. I have the same issue. Like
Okay.
it's just it's just because
It's not just men. And I'm not saying women are coming on to me. I'm just saying I attract people. Period.
yeah, it's just the person like I it's just
Yeah.
an infectious personality. I have the infectious personality. I get it. Like real, like I said, real recognize real. Like I can be able to sit down and talk to any person in the world and have a very interesting conversation. And at the end, like they tell me their whole entire life story. That's just I'm an attractive
Yeah.
person. I'm not saying look wise because you can't see my face. Who cares
Right.
about my look? But I'm sorry, as far as your aura or what you present or what you push off, you see it through whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Shukran. It happens. She brought me. She just she like recording all the rooms. This is the one she brought me for my room.
Oh, a sister had bought some home for me when she was in. It smells so good. Oh my god, it smells so good. It's so relaxing.
She has one in every room of the house, so I need this.
Your house is bomb right now. It's probably smelling bomb.
The whole house smells good right now.
I love melodic.
So yeah, so the other day, whenever I go to the haram, just and I sit down, I can just go sit down and I'm gonna have complete strangers walk over to me and start talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the other day when I went to pray, I went to meet a sister and to pray there. And after the prayer, you know, I have issues with blood clotting in my legs, so I was in a lot of pain. So I just sat there and stretched my legs out after the prayer. I wasn't moaning or anything, but the woman who was sitting, because we're socially distancing, we're not foot to foot in the prayer anymore. So she was sitting in front of me and to the left of me. She just turned around, saw my legs stretched out, and they ask questions here. There's no shame about being in your business.
Oh, really?
Turned around and she started massaging my leg, rubbing my leg, and making dua over it, and asked me what's wrong with it. And I was like, that is so sweet. It was sweet and nosy at the same time. Because I was like, dang, this woman just violated my personal space. She's touching me, because
You was letting it happen. You was letting it happen.
I'm not a touchy-feely person. So here she is rubbing on my leg and asking, but alhamdulillah, she was making dua over it and asking me what was wrong with it. And then she told me that she had, rheumatosis or whatever it was, and and all that stuff. And I'm trying to.
The sister said it lost center. The sister said it lost center.
Yeah, it was so sweet. It was so sweet, but it catches me off guard sometimes because I'm not the one that's gonna go out touching people.
So you don't know what you're gonna do, okay? Because I'm an empath, so I feel people's pain and I feel people's suffering.
So you were rubbing on my leg, making do all over it, because she must have felt that. She must have felt
it because I sometimes sit down and you can have a normal face, you could be smiling, and I would sit down next to a person and I would just mention what is going on with them. I'm like, is it what's going on? And I would start talking to them like, is it your mom? And they were like, yeah. Or is it whatever? And then they start talking and they start telling me, and then it starts going from there. But I feel people's agony. It is so annoying because I had to teach myself how not to take their agony on, how not to take their anger on, how not to take their frustration on, because when you absorb people's emotion, it affects you. So I had to figure out how to leave it where it was.
I've been accused of being cold the past few years, frigid and cold. And I haven't always been like that. No one saw me like that until the past few years. I think that I've put up some type of wall or something over the years because I used to carry the weight of stuff. Now I don't really want to hear. So like how you said, you'll ask if everything's okay. I don't really ask anymore because I can't handle the answer. It's too much now. I can't put all that on me anymore. Before, I was always that one if you came to your problems and everything. And that stuff, I physically can't handle it anymore. So I don't ask.
I feel
it comes off like I don't care, but I care, but I can't deal with it. So I don't ask. And I don't like that about me. I don't like that, but.
It's survival. It's survival. I understand as a fellow empath, I get it. And it's like, you have to, at a certain point, I can I'm very sociable, but at the same time, I'm very, inverted. I'm an invert, and I can't be around people for a long period of time because I'm going to absorb everybody's emotion. And then it's like an overload for me. It's emotional overload, and my head starts spinning. I'm like, I got to go home and I got to get back in my safe space. I can't. So alhamdulillah, sister said, at least you know that about yourself. Do you feel how long do you think it took you to learn that about you?
It wasn't a matter of learning about me because it was what I became. I wasn't always like this. To know that. It's just that it happened, and as soon as it happened, I realized that this is how it is. And why I'm like that now, I can make a few guesses, but it's probably life, age, experience,
Yeah.
Disappointments, just different, just living. By the time you get half a century, you've, been through some stuff. So it's like,
you are not that old. I cannot with you. You're making it seem
half a century. It sounds exaggerated, but that's 50.
Stop it. I want you to stop.
I got that from my mother. I remember when she turned 50, and she's like, I'm half a century now. And I just been waiting to say it,
I'm looking for once my kids are older, I already mapped out my youngest is 3. By the time he's 15, I'm gonna be 45, and I'm like, I can, because when he's 15, not to say I'm not gonna be raising him anymore, but he's gonna be able to be more independent. I'm not worried about him. He's about to be married soon. couple more years. So it's like he's going to be on his own a bit more, and I can be, me. My daughter should be married. She'll be 19. I don't expect them to be like 30 something getting married. I'm not living that life.
Yeah.
So,
My daughter got married when she was 17.
yes, I want between 16 and 19. I expect her to be married.
Mm.
Is that everybody like sisters out here? Like, when do y'all want y'all daughters to be married? Why did you choose? Why did you choose that age for her to be married?
I didn't really choose that age, but I knew I had to get rid of her because she's hyper.
Yo, just say it again. Say it a little bit. You have to get rid of her.
She gets bored easily. She's hyper. Ever since she was a baby, So I already knew that she had to go at some. She was gonna have to go at some point. It would have been. It would have just been. It would have been my other one. She's 18 now, and um, I'm sure she probably before a year ago she wasn't thinking about marriage. Now since this pandemic, she's like, there's nothing else to do. I might as well get married.
I mean, who is your co-host? The sisters asking, where is your co-host?
Who?
I don't know.
Asking you. Do you have a co-host?
She said, Inthazar, where is your co-host? She ain't say me. I don't got no co-host.
Maybe she's mixing the names up.
I don't have no co-host. She said Inthazar. She ain't mistake. Maybe your son or something.
My son.
I don't know. Then you have your son on a live before?
No. Walking through the store, maybe. My son, I may put the camera on him for a second. My boys don't say nothing on camera.
I know, they so corny. I be wanting my boys to they be like hiding their face. I'm like, no, don't hide your face. Yeah. What age do you expect your boys to be married?
I have no idea. None. I don't know how that will even work. I don't know where we'll be at that time. I guess they have to.
Oh, she said, who is the sister on live with you? It's Sally.
Oh wait, so maybe she's someone.
Maybe she's on yours.
My page, and she's seeing it because I shared it.
I see it on your page.
Yeah.
Oh, she came to the. All right, hey girl, I'm Sally with Sally Speaks. I interview any and everybody on topics that we want to talk about. You come to me with a good topic, we gonna sit there and have an interview. Sister Inthazar has a good amount of followers, as well as she has a few businesses that she's promoted, and she agreed to come and talk about whatever you guys wanted to ask. So that's why we're doing it. Hey girl. You need to find that Carb Go Heidi. Don't worry about it. Sally Speaks. You need to like my page. Hey girl.
After this, I shared it. I don't know if anyone said anything.
I don't know, like 75 comments. It's like we have between right now between 3 to 7, 8 people come on every once in a while, ask questions. Okay, she said she's in Chicago and stuff. So shout out to you. All right, girl. You better watch out for them bullets. You all right? I'm just saying.
Chicago alone. It is bad. Chicago is bad.
Girl, I ain't living that Chicago life. Mm-hmm. All you see is bad stuff about Chicago in the news. All you see is, that's what I'm saying. Like, for you to want to come in and want to go all the way back to America to live this American life.
I think I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder or something like that, because I was born and raised in Chicago.
Oh, you were raised? Oh, sorry about that. You didn't
know I was from Chicago?
I don't know. I probably forgot.
Oh, you're talking about Chicago now. I thought you were talking about it because I'm from Chicago.
No, the sister said that she was from Chicago.
Oh, okay, but I thought
but was Chicago as bad as it is now? Was it like as much gang violence when you were growing up?
Not when I was growing up. In the 90s, it got bad, really bad. In the 70s and 80s, when I was growing up, it was fine. There was always gangs, but people were fighting or cutting with knives or using nunchucks,
Nunchucks?
Yeah. They would have brass knuckles,
Uh-huh.
That's what you were
nobody shooting.
If you had some brass knuckles in the fight, or he had some nunchucks and he was crazy with the nunchucks, then that's what you were worried about when I was growing up. But in the 90s, they started shooting and killing a lot. My job, actually, after I graduated from university, was a caseworker in the largest juvenile detention center in America, the Cook County Juvenile Detention Center. So I worked with some of my kids. I call them my kids. They were some of the most notorious killers in the world. So fact they made national news coverage. Some of the my kids. These were my kids, and I was with them on a daily basis. That's probably one reason why I don't go back to America, because that was my normal, to be with killers every day. 5 days out a week, 8 hours a day, and most of the time I was doing overtime because we were short staffed. I was with killers, you know. So that's what I was. That was my norm. So when I left Chicago,
How did that affect you?
it affected me because at that point things were happening in the street too, and I was in the club. I wouldn't want to watch the news sometimes. I knew that's what I was going to have to deal with when I got to work. I'd watch the news. I see what happened. I'm like, oh God, because I'm their caseworker. I can't. I'm not in there judging them. They haven't been to court yet or anything like that. I'm their caseworker. I'm the one who's giving them their phone calls and helping them get situated. And if they have a problem, they're talking to about their problem. And they loved me. They were crazy about me. They used to protect me in riots. There'll be riots in the jail, and they would come and cover me up, stuff like that. And yeah,
it's like if you have that protection, you don't. I mean, if you have that protection from the criminals, they'll protect you no matter what.
Even in the streets, because I come from a big old gangster family, and my neighborhood. And when I was away in university, the gang in my neighborhood sent me money and stuff. They were proud of me. They didn't want me getting in trouble. They would be like at one point I was hang out with them, and they would be like, "You're going back." I would come up on the weekends or something like that, and then I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay a little bit longer." They're like, "No, you're not. You're going back." So I was like, "What kind of thug are you? Making me go to college?" They were very supportive. I was like, I thought you supposed to want me to be out here gangstering things and stuff, but they were very supportive.
Once you be out here on these streets, they seem better in you. It's like, with the good and bad and living in the hood, it's like you have the protection.
Like, here come college girl, there's college girl, and they make sure. Really, they would make sure they were like, "You got your books this year? You got enough money for your books? You got?" I'm like, "Yeah, you got enough money for." Even my brother, I don't want to tell his business, but when my mother would give me $35 a week. Now that's a lot in college. All of my friends weren't getting $35 a week, but my brother, because he was a baller, thought that was sad. He thought that was so sad that my mother was only giving me $35 a week. So he was supplementing. He would give me money. Then my cousins and other people would, give me money because, so it was cool. But yeah, Chicago was horrible. It got really, really bad. Then, again in the 90s.
It's worse now than it is. Like, is it?
I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure it is, but like I said, I worked with killers every day, and then my own family members started getting killed. So I have 3 cousins that were killed in the streets of Chicago. Just crazy, just crazy.
That's why I like once we get out, I don't see us coming back. Like I don't see this happening. I know a lot of people may not understand. Like that's why sometimes I just wonder what these Arabs be thinking when they come over here. Like what do they think is going to happen? Because a lot of the Somalis that come over here for the American dream, a lot of their kids are lost to these streets.
My advice to anybody in America that wants to get out and who sounds like you saying you want to get out and not come back is to take advantage of your time while you're there and save those American dollars. Start sacrificing some and stop spending so much. Save that money. We don't really, we live paycheck to paycheck, and we don't save. Save that. Those American dollars go far in these other countries. And if you
does it go as far in Saudi, or like how is the value of the dollar?
Not that far. Not that far in Saudi, but if you ever have to leave Saudi, you have enough money saved up. These people, look, poor people than Americans go back to their poor countries and live like kings over there. These people from poor countries, they come to Saudi, they're not making as much money as the Americans over here, but they're saving, and they go in their country, they own property. We're going on vacations. The Americans will come over here, they're going on vacation. They're doing nothing, not that other people aren't going on vacation, but if you don't have it like that and you want something, start saving. Don't spend all your money on little things like that. So if you're in America right now and you're making the good American dollars, take that money and save. Just be bare minimum. Live on basic necessities if you know you want to get out of there. stop investing so much in life there. That's depreciating. You're buying purses and this and that and eating out all the time, and then you wonder, and then you don't have any money saved. Those things, cut back on some of those things, save it. That money saved a couple of years. I mean, people have been talking about leaving for years. During those years that everyone's been doing all that talking, you should have been putting money to the side. Because it will go far in countries like Egypt and Morocco and Gambia and places like that. It will go very far.
Yeah.
And those places are a lot easier and more realistic to get into.
All right. So you have any more comments, anything you want to tell the people about you, about what your business are? Because y'all can start signing up under her. She's not promoting it. She's just like, if y'all want to, y'all want to. If y'all don't,
Exactly.
you like, whatever. Y'all about this money. Y'all ain't. That's it.
I'm like, do it or don't.
It's from Allah either way. Like, you're going to get it or you're not going to get it. Like, alhamdulillah.
I offer no guarantees, no promises or anything. So I don't want anybody blaming me when things don't, go the way they envision it. People want to get rich quick. And it's like,
it's no
different. They don't really want to invest. And I'm like, this invest means you wait, and you may wait where it's not even for you. It may be for your children. It may be, for the next generation. So that you set them up. So they're not struggling the way you're struggling. May not pay off in your lifetime. That's how I see my Aramco investment. I don't even see my Aramco investment as something for me in my lifetime. It's something that I'm hoping that I can leave behind for my children, and that it benefits them.
Mm-hmm. Alhamdulillah. All right, well, inshallah, y'all got any more questions for the sister? If y'all do, type them in there, because we about to end this because she got to go to sleep. It's looking like Margaret about to come in back.
Oh, you can see, yeah, it is about to come in any minute now, inshallah. Yeah.
So y'all got her for like.
That's Adhan.
Huh?
That's the Adhan. You are good. Your eyes saw that. They called the Adhan as soon as you said that.
Alhamdulillah, well, I'm better. Listen, I can't wait. I'm the type of person, I can't wait for new opportunities. I really want to have better opportunities for my kids. I want to go over, I want to immerse myself in the culture. I want to really, I want to go over there with a empty mind and a broad sense of expecting nothing but getting everything. So when I get over, I hope and I pray I can appreciate it. I want to get into everything because I like to take advantage of things. I like to take advantage of opportunities that arise.
In the meantime, don't just wait to get over here to make those things happen. Wherever you are, try to make sure that you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm doing it now. I'm talking to people. I'm networking. I interview everybody. I'm expanding my horizons. I'm getting to know. I'm branding myself. So it's not like I'm just sitting and waiting and hoping and praying. Of course, I'm making dua, but you have to put action behind the dua. So that's what I'm doing right now is just trying to get. I know my goals and I want to get out. So I'm trying to get out of jail right now. Okay.
Yeah. And talk to other people with different experiences, and then that way you can.
Sometimes I feel like I'm tired of talking to sisters with their experience because all of them complain, especially sisters.
But then at least that way you can play worst case scenario in your mind and try to figure out if that would have happened to me, how would I feel? How would I behave if I was in that situation? And see if it's something that you can handle. So listen to some.
But at the same time, like you got to understand, like sisters can deter you. A sister in Egypt that they went over with no bread, and like she went over with her husband broke. Like, and she'll tell you her experience. Her experience is horrible. But then I know another sister who her husband works and brings over money, and her experience in Egypt is decent.
Right.
So to me, it's just like it is what it is. Like I feel like I learned because it deterred me from going overseas for a while because I'm like, yo, it seems like it's bad, and I don't like
stories.
Huh?
Why did it deter you? Because you were hearing like the bad stories only?
It was a whole bunch of bad stories. It was like a phenomenal. I heard about pedophilia. A sister had her son doing Quran class. Her son got raped. It was a lot of fitna, and I'm like, yo,
don't come with your eyes closed because a lot of people do come over here and let their guard down. Don't let your guard down just because you're here. Don't ever let your guard down.
Yeah.
No, people start thinking I'm over here, he's Muslim and everything. No, don't let your guard down. like I said, I had drivers and maids, and if I couldn't do something, my kids never would ride with the driver alone. People send their maids in the car with the drivers to school and stuff. They don't put their kids in the car alone with drivers. You get a maid, and the maid rides to school. That sounds so horrible, like, because the mom was asleep. The mom don't want to get up. But, somebody's in that car with the kids and the driver, because that's what happens. You leave your kids every day, all day with the driver. They trust the driver. You trust the driver. The driver takes advantage sometimes. So I'm not saying all of them are like that, but you don't want to even risk it. You don't want to take that chance.
You don't. It's the same thing in America. It doesn't matter where you are. Keep your babies next to you.
Yeah.
I don't play no games because you're not going to be ruining my kids. I put too much work into these kids. Too much. I can't wait to retire. Alhamdulillah.
Where did you get your kibbutz from?
A sister got it from the UAE.
Oh, okay, because I see it's nice and long.
Yeah, it's just all in one.
Yeah, nice, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. But yeah, alhamdulillah. So, inshallah, what is she? Oh, so sister is asking about the Bitcoin. She had mentioned that the Bitcoin, she doesn't know exact how the inner workings of the Bitcoins. All she does is a referral service. So if you are either interested in doing the Bitcoin, or if you are
not Bitcoin that we're doing.
No, I'm sorry. The what is it called?
It's an alternative coin. It's an alternative coin that my company has, but if you're an affiliate for them and you're referring people, then they pay you in Bitcoin. But the investment, we're not investing in Bitcoin. We're investing in an alternative coin that we hope, has great potential and will appreciate in value. But the Bitcoin is done, that's what you get paid in when you refer others, which in turn you can take in exchange and invest in our alternative coin.
Okay, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. All right, inshallah, I will let you go because I feel like the line, you gotta go pray. All right, assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much for this opportunity to get to know you, and I hope people get to know you more. Ask her questions. She's willing and open. She's a businesswoman. She about her money. She about them coins. Okay.
I'll probably do a few lives this week since the house is quiet. The boys are well. My house is always quiet because the boys don't make a lot of noise. But since they're gone this week, I'll probably try to challenge myself to do the live videos because there's some challenges out here where you're supposed to do it, a video a day or a live a day or something like that. So
no, I'm not doing it.
Maybe this week I'll try to do that and do a few more live videos, inshallah.
Inshallah, may Allah allow you to be successful and give you plenty of viewers, inshallah, and may the content be, for you and not against you. Ameen.
Jazakallah khair.
All right, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Thank you so much, girlfriend. Remember to like, subscribe. You better like my video. It's like,
me? I'm like,
I'm talking to people. I'm threatening the people with my eyes. Y'all better like my videos.
Okay.
All right.
Assalamu alaikum.
I guess I am.